Hello, everyone. So, something I really love about Bomberman Hero is it has a really kick-ass soundtrack. Like, even if the game, like, you don't like it, the soundtrack is phenomenal for this game. I cannot stress that enough. I don't think I've watched this intro since the early 2000s, now that I think about it. Yeah, I checked it out. I recognized a good bit of them. Some of them I didn't, but for the most part, I recognized a good fair bit. Also, how's my audio in comparison to the game volume? I turned it down pretty significantly, but I'm always paranoid about that. That's just my nature. Like, I always want to make sure that my audio sounds good before I go live. For me, you're pretty balanced. Okay. I might turn it down just a smidge, just to be sure. So, like, I'll put it, like, 15.6 decibels. So, Bomberman is a Konami franchise, and in Gary's Mod, there's a couple game modes for it. I forgot what it was called. I think Melon Bomber, I think, is what the Gary's Mod version of this is. But I could be wrong. Feel free to correct me. But so Bomberman is usually like a top-down, kind of like a puzzle game in a way. Pseudo Bomberman, yeah, it's kind of jank. Yeah, like this one was kind of Konami's attempt to bring their mascot into the 3D world because, of course, you have Super Mario 64, Zelda. If you're getting Mario, Conker, or not Conker, but Mario, Link, and so on onto a 3D platform, they wanted to make an attempt at 3D themselves. So this was their attempt to make a 3D Bomberman. Technically, there was another game before this, but I've never played that one. This was the one that I was exposed to. But to be honest, I have no idea what the story is even about. So let's dive into this together, shall we? Bomber Nebula. So this is the third princess that I've got to rescue on the N64. Take this disc and go hide in the engine room. Okay. I think I might have skipped the rest of that, but that's okay. I mean, it's a... I think we kind of get the point of it. It's like, oh, kidnap princess, gotta go save princess, let's get to it. But yeah, so the visual artifacting, there's nothing I can do about. That's just a side effect of the game itself, and also me upscaling the resolution a little bit. Sadly, there's not much I can do on that front, but it doesn't affect the actual game itself. What are your thoughts on all the recent AI technologies that are booming ever since we edged into late 2022? It's hard to beat. So, I think, like, on a consumer basis, I think it's really cool. Because, for example, like, the project that I was working on actually was heavily involved with a lot of the AI stuff. Because you can take, like, characters from old games and then give them new dialogue. So it gives, like, you can do videos, and you can also do, mods. Like, I would say it's extremely valuable for the modding community, especially, like, for Skyrim, Fallout, and, hell, even Oblivion and Morrowind. Like, it's just... Like, there's a lot of stuff that can be done here and a lot of creativity, but of course there's gonna, with every good thing, people are gonna misuse it. But not only that, there's also technologies that, like, aren't really necessarily prone to abuse, such as, like, the gigapixel technology, because, with AI upscaling and so on, they're able to fix up old games like this and make the textures look, like, really shine. Because, of course, like, games like this will never get any sort of treatment from Konami or so on, so it's just really good to see people, like the fans of these games, actually go in and make their own remaster, so to speak. And that's kind of what I've done for every stream, with the exception of, well, this one, obviously, because I don't have a texture pack for it, but... You know what? I'm actually going to turn the volume up just a little bit. I think I was kind of perfect where I was. I think it was just the music was kind of overpowering it a bit. Novel AI has done really well to give you a basis of stories and character development. 11 Labs is great in replicating carrying out voice projects. Yeah, absolutely. I think it has a lot of uses for creativity, especially with, like, videos. So, for example, like, when I made my machinima back in the mid-2010s, I was very limited with the technology at the time. Didn't have very many voices to go with, and now I can just create my own voice actors and have, like, really good quality, and I can, of course, mask it to where you can't really tell. But, regardless, it's just really cool. I've used AI to fix up a lot of old family videos, like putting them at 60 frames per second, trying to fix up the audio as much as I can. I hope to eventually find an AI program that is able to take voices out of old, like, family videos and able to recreate them. Just because, like, if you got, like, a family member that is really near and dear to your heart, you can hear their voice again. I mean, technically that exists now with, like, 11 Labs, but when you have family videos that have, like, really bad audio quality, it's really hard for the AI currently to pick that up. It's very unfortunate to see the majority of it is ingrained in the walls of copyright with topics like this. Yeah, and that's the thing, is that the only reason that I'm able to do stuff with that is because it's in such a gray area right now. And at least where the law stands at the moment, a voice actor's performance, like, a voice can't be copyrighted, so to speak, but a performance can. So, like, if you're making a mod for a game where you're reusing a character's voice, like, the voice actor themselves would, like, as far as I'm aware, can't do anything about that. It would have to be the company behind the game, because they own the rights to the performance. I guess it's kind of in the same vein of, like, if a character is owned by a company, like, you can only use said character with company's permission. Like, I guess it kind of goes in the same category as, like, dressing up as, like, Batman for Halloween or something. Very, very stretched, but I mean, it's kind of in the same realm, I think. So, funny thing about this game is, you can collect these crystal shard things, but I've never understood what they're actually for. Like, I think it's just for points, but, like, from my recollection, I've never actually used these for anything other than points. Like, they're not currency or anything. Oh, welcome to the stream, Trends! Good to see ya! We're playing yet another childhood game that I never completed. Well, I mean, I completed Star Fox and so on, but this one in particular was really near and dear to my heart, and I just never was able to complete it. Because I think it's just when games like got to the point where it stopped holding your hand and became more complex, I just never understood how that worked, so... Especially when I think this game has a few branching paths, too, so I think I just never understood that aspect of it. But as I said, the soundtrack for this game is incredible. Like, after the stream, definitely look up the soundtrack for Bomberman Hero. Certainly is difficult to think about. I think of the extent of the actors and certain jobs should be asked. So they kind of know what they're signing up for. An arcade game made to be a puzzle platformer? Yep, absolutely.
I did it!
Yes, we did. I mean, he's just so hyped up that we just completed that training course. But yeah, like, this was Konami's attempt to bring Bomberman into a 3D platformer. Because, I mean, the N64 was kind of like that experimental phase where, like, everyone was trying to go 3D, which, I mean, no better console to do it at the time, of course, save for maybe the Dreamcast. But, like, well, I guess in the PS1, but I'm more thinking of, like, a Nintendo's aspect. Because Bomberman was already established, with the kind of game it was. But, like, this is just a drastic departure from what previous Bomberman games were. And this is my first exposure to the series. Which, I mean, I love regular Bomberman, it's fun. But, it's just, not a game that I'd, like, go out of my way to play. But, like, Bomberman Hero, like, I think I was just I don't remember how, like, which family member got this game, or if it was something I wanted, but there's just a lot of mysteries with, my childhood, which I'm trying to kind of figure out by playing these games. Yeah, exactly, Melon Bomber! That's what I was just saying to Dio earlier in the stream, is that Melon Bomber. Stream data for most art platforms, usually set in public works like DeviantArt. That's a big kicker. Yeah, I mean, that's, it's kind of like, you could consider it to fall into, like, the fair use category at that point, because it's a transformative work, it's not the original iteration, but at the same time, like, there's still, like, art styles and things like that that are replicated and without permission. Ow. You know what, screw that little thing. I'm just gonna... So, I'm not exactly sure what that did, so I'm gonna go over here. Because I remember there's a few, like, branching areas that I can go in. Personally, I want to use AI at this moment to create JoJo content for our adventure, make manga panels, what we did. See, that would be really cool. I know that Novel AI lets you replicate certain, like, artists' art styles, but the only problem with that is, for one, Novel AI is a paid service, and two, it, there's also the issue of the AI still kind of being, like, new. So it can give you what you're looking for, but sometimes it'll give you a John Carpenter's The Thing-esque abomination. Ow. Okay, so it wants me to go in there, but there's that room over there, so I think I'm gonna go this way. Because I tried it with Araki's style a while back. And it was fairly okay, but it just wasn't like... You could tell that it was AI. Oh, this is a secret course, so I actually made the right decision here. You'll need 4 key crystals. I also need to get some hearts, too, because... Ooh, the game is slowing down. thing about Bomberman Hero is that you can 100% hurt yourself with your own bombs. So like this, on the bottom right corner, like that tells you, I believe, how many bombs you can throw at a time. So for example, if I were to do this, I can throw 4 bombs. And I think the 3 is the explosive radius of said bomb. So, it can cause some trouble where you get a lot more power, but you're also a hazard to yourself. And I think the more times than not, I've killed myself in this game by, my own bombs than any other enemy. You know, from a technical perspective, it can warrant business opportunities, I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, it's still a really uncharted territory at the moment. Like, there's not a lot of regulation with it, so people can really get away with a lot of stuff with it. I mean, I agree that there should be some regulation with AI, but I don't want it to be, like, to the point where it's practically worthless. It's like where, oh, well, you can only use it in this circumstance, or you can only use it with this person's permission, or... Hey, it's T! Good to see ya! I'm playing, Bomberman Hero. This is another childhood classic, from my perspective, that I never beat. Because again, it's one of those N64 titles that, along with Mario 64 and Ocarina, that I played, well, I owned and I played, but I never actually completed. Because once the game got more complicated in the later levels, and stopped being so hand-holdy, I just was not mentally capable of actually completing it. And over the years, I've tried to play it again, but through various issues, such as the game just crashing randomly, and also my actual N64 overheating and shutting down anytime I try to play a game on it, so yeah.
I did it!
Ah, he's just adorable. So as you can see, there's a couple levels that, like right here, like Heavy Room, I think I skipped that. So you have a couple branching paths. I don't know that I have to return here to do that in order to progress, but I guess we'll find out. I just remember that I played these opening levels quite a bit when I was a kid. From an aggressive standpoint. Yeah, like, I can only imagine, because, I mean, with 2022, and even 2021, like, with the rise of AI just being so quick and things happening on a weekly basis, I can only imagine what's going to happen in the next 10 years, much less the next 5. So, childhood story time, everybody. So, this plane here, whenever you jump up and try to get onto it, it will fly off. So, as a kid, I would always follow this plane to see if I could get on top of it. Like, even to the point of jumping off the edge. But you just phase right through it. I don't know what my particular mindset of that was. I think I just wanted to, like, see if I could get on top of it and skip the level, or maybe there was a secret there, but I would always, like, try to chase after it, but there's a bottomless pit right below me, so it's just interesting to see, like, certain things that I did and certain behaviors when I played games and just see, like, what I was thinking at the time. And I guess it kind of goes back to the whole childhood imagination thing. And then there's an item that I have no idea what it does. Kind of like the crystals, no idea what they do, save for points. Right, exactly, and it just, like, you don't really get a lot of that imagination nowadays with a lot of games. And it could also just be because I'm 26, and I'm kind of seeing the world in a different perspective. But back then, ooh, saved myself there. Anything was possible. Like, with limited access to the internet on my part, not a lot of, like, gaming review places, or... Because, I mean, in that era, of course, you had, Well, this was before, I think this was before GTA San Andreas by quite a few years. But like GTA San Andreas, for example, with the myths, like Sasquatch and so on, and the early days of YouTube even, where people would like search for certain cryptids in GTA, and it's kind of the same thing. It's, we didn't have a lot of technology back then, or at least it wasn't well known to where we could investigate these sorts of things. I mean, you could, of course, data mine back then, but it wasn't as much, it wasn't public knowledge to the extent where anybody could just look it up and see, like, oh, well, this is not in the game. So a childhood imagination is something to be cherished, because it really made these games that much more enjoyable, because you just, without the internet spoiling everything, you're able to just explore the game world, and just anything goes. Like, anything was possible. Whew. Like, if you beat Zelda without getting hit 10 times, you got a gun. I remember in Pokemon Emerald, there was the Rocket number 100 thing, where you could go to the moon or something. That's what I was told in the playground, was that if you went to Rocket number 100, you go to the moon and get Jirachi, or, Deoxys, and then the guy out front on the Moss Deep Space Center would be like, oh, I use a wish tag, and then you get Jirachi. Let's see. Yeah, and I think, like, I love how all this information is publicly accessible now, but at the same time, looking back on it, I honestly prefer those days where the moment that a game comes out, like, all the secrets are known, which is why it's really cool when I hear that there's still Easter eggs that haven't been found in games from 20 years ago. Like, there was a G-Man texture file in, I think, Eli's lab that wasn't found until just a couple of years ago. I think it was a G-Man texture file. It was like in one of the tube things that he had in his lab. Ooh, I nearly got into my own blast radius. Like, after beating, you remember played Croc, I remember a rumor being spread about that game in elementary, like after beating the final boss, you'd find the Rainbow Gobo and get a ton of crazy powers to fight your final boss. Sadly, no, I never got to play Croc. There's a lot of weird games that I ended up playing. For example, I played, there was a, don't judge, but there was a South Park first-person shooter that I played when I was a kid, when I was far too young. Like, the introduction of it literally had, like, an alien creature eating Kenny's head. And I'm like, it was fine. Like, I wasn't scared of it. I just was terrible at it because I had no idea what to do. But to be fair, I played, like, Perfect Dark and GoldenEye and so on, so I guess I wasn't really too worried about the gore factor. Because at that point, I was really, like, my biggest fear was werewolves and zombies. So I wasn't really scared of, like, alien creatures and stuff. Yeah, like, I remember the turkeys were, like, I think they either scared me or I was just, like, really overwhelmed by them because the turkeys were just, ugh. I actually have a physical copy of that game in my Nintendo 64 box, because I have I made sure to get every single childhood N64 game that I had. I had, like, a list that I would mark off every week, or every 2 weeks when I got a paycheck. I would get at least 1 or 2 from eBay. And I did my best to verify them, and as far as I'm aware, all of them are legit. And then I got custom boxes for all of them, so I just have a box with all of my N64 games. So I have a copy of this, and I've got a copy of that South Park game with a custom N64 box. Why I went through the effort to get a box for the South Park game is beyond me, but I did. I mean, like, because my actual N64 is kind of on the fritz, like, it'll play games, it's just that it will reset after about, like, 20 minutes. And I've heard it's a heating issue, but I just haven't really touched it much to really bother with trying to fix it. It was it's a Japanese import N64 that's been modified to play, both, Japanese cartridges and American or Western cartridges. Yeah, I'm not sure what's wrong with it. I think it's just, well, part of it's probably just the age of the console, and yeah, it's really dusty, but even when it wasn't dusty, like, it still gave me that issue. So I think at some point I might just buy another N64 that's... Because I just bought it off of eBay, so, like, it works, but it just has those issues. Alcohol and toothbrush. Had to replace the power cord, left it on for a long while. See, I remember, like, in Smash Bros. Melee, one of the suggestions to unlock Mewtwo was to literally leave your GameCube on overnight in a versus match, because you needed to rack up, like, I think, like, 16, 17, 24 hours of time in-game in order to unlock Mewtwo or something. And I'm like, there's no way that I'm gonna do that. So, it wasn't until I was in college with my brother, when we were playing Super Smash Bros. Melee together, that we actually unlocked Mewtwo, just by playing versus matches together, and it took until, what year was that, like 2015, 2016 to do that? I remember my PS2 stopped working suddenly, like it wouldn't power on, I had no idea. It took me weeks to realize it. I've done that. I'm just amazed that I was able to fully understand how to plug in and unplug an N64 at such a young age. Like, I knew how to reset the N64, I knew how to plug it in. Like, I was able to troubleshoot it. Because what I tell people is that I was a 90s toddler, I was not a 90s kid, I was born in 96, so... Not quite a 90s kid, but not quite a 90s baby either, so I was... Still, I was, of course, fairly young, but, like, I was able to understand enough to play these games and understand, like, at least partially what I was doing, where I could pick it up and play it. But surprisingly enough, in the years like from 99 to 2000, I was competent enough to where I could plug in the N64 and know how to work it. And fun fact that I guess everybody knows at this point is that you're not supposed to blow on the cartridges, but I still do it anyway. So, later on in this game, we're going to be introduced to, probably one of my favorite villains, just because of how cool he looks. Of this era, that is, like, Bomberman. But I'll point him out when I see him, but when I was a kid, he was one of my favorite villains, and I just remember I thought he looked super cool. Okay, so... Okay, that's how I do it. But as you can see, there's a lot of variety in these levels. Man, having a kid at that day and age sounds super stressful. There's too much to learn now to protect. Hey, we're just in no. Time to change, people evolve. Yeah, like, I'm kind of trying to live a life of simplicity. Like, I'm not trying, like... If I get the chance to, like, go on a vacation somewhere, like, that'd be great. But at this point in time, I'm content. Oh no, it's, falling Easter Island heads. Oh, okay, so there's another childhood memory. So when I was young and I played this game, so naturally this game came out before SpongeBob SquarePants, but when I played this and I saw the Easter Island heads, because I didn't know what they were, I was like, oh my gosh, Squidward's in this game? But of course, naturally, I played this before I watched SpongeBob. But, like later on when I touched it again after the pilot episode and a couple episodes of SpongeBob in 1999, 2000, and so on. That's kind of where I got that from. But like, it's just, you know, it's a trip down memory lane, and I'm all here for it. But you can definitely see where the game is chugging a little bit. Oh no! Okay, so how does that work? That one was smaller and on top of the other one, but then it comes out and it's bigger. Attack its weak point for massive damage. I remember having so much trouble with that as a kid, but I'm also overpowered right now.
I did it!
Everything explodes in the Bomberman universe. I really wonder how the planet holds up an entire ecosystem where the only way to defend yourself is to spontaneously combust. Oh. Okay, it looks like my limit is 4 and 4, so 4 blast radius, 4 maximum bombs. I had to really play around with this before I streamed to kind of, like, see what the controls were. Because there's surprisingly enough, there's a pretty intricate set of controls for this game. So, for example, I can set a bomb down and I can kick it. I can jump up and drop a bomb. And then, of course, I can throw 4 bombs at a time. Even though that was just 2, but still. So, limitations of the N64 joystick, I can't actually aim at that guy properly, so I'm gonna have to go down here. Okay. There we go. So, there's really no incentive for me to go down and fight some of these enemies, so I'm just gonna try to ignore them as much as I can. Let me see. Okay, so I think it's just autosave, so I don't have to worry! Well, I screwed myself. So, one more hit, and Bomberman, I don't need explosive radius, I need health. I was about to say bombs. Is that health? Yep. I don't know if this gives me 1 or multiple. Okay, just 1. But I'll take it. But as I've said, the soundtrack for this game, look it up afterwards, it's incredible. Like, it still holds up to this day. So I think I'm gonna explore a little bit more just to see if there's more health that I can pick up. Because I definitely need to get at least one more health thing. Okay. Let me see if I can jump up and hit that. Nope. Oh, I did. But yeah, I'd love to hear some childhood stories from you, chat. Like, since I've kind of been talking about this game quite a bit, I'd love to hear, like, what games did you, that are kind of like this, where you started but could never finish, because of, either just being too young to really... Damn it, I got that heart and then it immediately got taken away from me. Oh well. But, you know, games that you, played as a child but either didn't understand them at the time, or you just never finished them because of getting stuck.
I did it!
Okay, so I went straight to the big cannon. Oh, is this another one of those vehicle levels? Oh, I get the bomber jet already? Cool! I thought that wasn't until later, but then again, these games are probably a lot shorter than I remember them to be. I can never get past the driver tutorial. Yeah, and that's completely fair. Like, I think, having humility when it comes to those sorts of things is good. Like, I mean, I have embarrassing confessions like that too. I mean, more of a recent one, but I never got past the League of Legends tutorial. Because, like, so many friends tried to get me into League, and I'm just like, no. I tried the tutorial, didn't really understand how to play the game, so I just stopped. But, so it's going to be a bit hard to hear because of the sound effects and because I have the volume relatively low, but this is one of my favorite tracks in the game. Oh, you bastard thing. Ooh, the game is, like, really slowing down. It just absolutely cannot handle this. So I think, whoa, that's not worth the risk. Is it like a mole in a cannon? Well, the age-old technique of just shoot until it dies. Okay.
I did it!
You peeked into the pit and walked back. Don't fall. Yeah, I'm never gonna touch that game, primarily just because League was... It's infamous for being more toxic than the COD community. I know Croc and Rayman were two games I only beat thanks to cheat codes. Also, I could never beat the King Bob on Mario 64. See, that's okay. Like I said, just having humility with it is good, because comparing how we are now to how we were as children, that's kind of what I'm trying to break the barrier with here, is that seeing that, like, taking those childhood, like, trials and going through them as an adult, because it shows that, you know, it's kind of silly to think about some of the things we were stuck on back then. But as far as, like, King Bob-omb, I was stuck not on King Bob-omb, but I was stuck on Tall Mountain with the freaking monkey. So, the monkey in Mario 64, of course, will steal your hat and so on, but the problem with that I had with it was that I didn't know how to long jump. So I didn't understand, like, what I was supposed to do to get across the large gap. And I soon discovered how to do that, like, maybe 2009? So, these knives, as soon as they see me, they'll... Yep. Yeah, like, I mean, that's completely fair. That was my problem, is that I could never get past Tall Mountain, and I didn't understand that you had to get the yellow stars and not the blue ones. Because, like, I would just replay the same levels over and over again and wonder why I wasn't progressing, but also Geodude ripoff. Game of the Giant Chain Chomp scared the crap out of me. Yeah, the Chain Chomp. The Chain Chomp and then the piano. I'm trying to think, there was something else in Mario 64. Oh, I think just Big Boo's Haunt in general scared me. So if I see one more of these things, I'll... Okay, So you cannot look at this thing and tell me that is not a Geodude. Like, it's a rock with arms and a face. That is a 100% a Geodude. I mean, I don't know. I think this game came out in 97, 98, so it was still after Pokemon had released in Japan, so... Yeah, and Ocarina of Time's another good example. I was really scared of Redeads, so whenever I got to the point where you went into the, what was it, the Kakariko Village Graveyard, I could not progress to get the Sun Song because I was just so terrified of the Redeads that were in there. Aw, damn it. No! This is probably gonna be my first death! I'm not gonna give up so easily. Come on, Bomberman, you can do it! Evade the falling rocks and suicidal knives. There we go. No! Okay, well, I healed myself, but I gotta get back up there. Okay, so I'm good. Spyro had a few scary enemies, the giant bugs and sharks. Yeah, and everyone's been telling me to get into Spyro, and I'm willing to try it, but it's just like, should I play the originals or should I play the Reignited trilogy? I know that there's been, like, some changes to certain things, like, certain, like, cultural representations are different in the newer games. And there's also, like, some censorship with, like, the guns and stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's completely alright. It's the same thing with, like, Dead Space Remake. Like, I love that game, but there's still certain things in the original I prefer. Okay, so, other obscure childhood memory moment courtesy of Eno. So, this part right here, like, I don't know, for some reason, I always thought that if you hit it at a certain angle, you could just, walk across it, but it will just keep sliding you down because of it. So, I guess, like, I always had trouble with this, because I would always just, I think, I would get stuck right here. So it's an incomplete memory, but... So I guess the whole point is just, you just have to keep jumping, otherwise it will, make you fall. So, I see a little bit of a graphical gap there. I don't know if you can... And I fell. So I don't know if you can see that on the stream, but there's a little bit of a... like a cut right here. It kind of looks like a triangle, so I'm wondering if I can blow that up. And my suspicion was correct. Reality is literally cracking at the seams. Yeah, and I think it's also just because I've upscaled this to 1080p, so there's going to be a graphical bugs, but I think some of it was hidden deliberately with the 4x8, I think it was like 360p or whatever the original resolution of this was, maybe 480. Oh, we got big boy Geodude. I just realized that level was called Dragon Road. I read it as Dragon Rock, and I'm like, are we playing Star Fox again? Oh, here he is! Nitros! You must be here to see the UFO that landed nearby. My edgy boy from the late 90s and 2000s! Oh, I thought he was so cool when I was a kid. His theme is also pretty good, too. Oh yeah, I forgot he can do that with your bombs. Also, I think I've noticed in the top right corner, my score is continuously going down, so I think it's, I have to beat him in a certain amount of time to keep my score, which, that makes sense. It's like the faster you beat him, the better your score. Like, that's completely fair. So, fairly simple, like, he just, I think he doesn't even attack you, really. Like, he just avoids your attacks pretty much all the time. Like, I think the only thing he does is, this attack right here. But not so much of a spoiler, but, later on, this boss gets more complicated, so you fight him multiple times, and he gets, like, different phases, so it's kind of like learn the phases, and then, later on, you just put all of that together. Damn, Nitros, I'm literally at full power bombs, and you've taken like 5 or 6 to the face. Maybe you should get rid of that monocle and get a pair of glasses. I'm over here. Or visor, or whatever. There we go. Well, there goes my edgy boy Nitros. I replayed that boss so many times just because, like, I would only get about this far and then I would stop. I played a little bit, of course, a lot more of this game, but, like, when I just picked it up and played it, like, random days, I would just get to right here and then I would stop. I am Piebot, please help Princess Million. Primus Star was invaded by the Garden, like, I have the same problem with Skies of Arcadia pronunciations, like, who writes this stuff? So, for some reason, looking at this robot, it reminds me of Robot Jones. Like, for those of you who remember whatever happened to Robot Jones, an old Cartoon Network cartoon. Like, for some reason, like, looking at him, he just reminds me of Robot Jones. And I'm not saying that just because he's a robot, it's just because the color. Yeah, whatever did happen to him. So, funny story, in the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, in the introduction, like the intro to that show, there's a couple of graves where, some zombies will literally, like, they'll do, like, the rock on sign, at the very end of the intro, but if you brighten up the contrast a little bit, the gravestones say, like, Time Squad and whatever happened to Robot Jones, so it's like they're kind of paying tribute to those cartoons that just went away. Because I remember watching Robot Jones, and then it just, like, obviously, what happened to it? I think it just was a factor, it wasn't really that popular, and the first season it was pretty simplistic. They used a text-to-speech program to use his voice. But then, after that, they realized, okay, let's actually cast a voice actor for this. So in Season 2, and then they redid Season 1 with a proper voice actor for it. Man, that is a violent circus clown. I guess I can't rely on my, Okay, let's try that. Damn, this thing's, like, harder to hit than Nitros was. Nitros was like really, well, then again, Nitros was very easy to hit, but like, come on, like, invincible clowns with knives? Come on. There we go. Rest in pieces. Oh, there's actually something over there, so I'm gonna check that real quick. Oh, I couldn't make the jump. I didn't put enough pressure onto my thumbstick. I think I've made good progress for the small amount of time that I've been playing, like, but a lot of this, this is just the first planet, though. Like, I always thought that this was much further into the game as a kid. I mean, I guess that's kind of that whole aspect of childhood mind just looks at these with a different perspective. And then we got another damn clown. And I missed the jump. I gotta take a leap of faith. I'm just so hesitant to, like, fully commit to a jump that I just fail. Yet, I wonder if it's just the... is it me, or is it just that... Yeah, I guess it is just me. I gotta, like, be more brave and commit to a jump and not hesitate. Because it's not like I'm gonna die from the fall. Nope, get away from me, clown. Not today. Not today. Not today. Not today. There we go. Dropped it right on top of his head. Oh. Man, these clowns are more hazardous than the bosses are. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Another one? Well,
I did it!
yeah, I was gonna say, I don't have the phobia of clowns, but I was gonna say that maybe I do in this game. Okay, so... gotta take a drink. Alright. So we've got the Great Rock. Oh wait, I'm on Fog Route. And then Endel. Oh, these trees! Oh, I remember they scared the hell out of me too! Like, just look at that shit-eating grin on his face, like... I don't know, like, I guess it was just something about, like, big eyes and sharp teeth that scared me. Okay, so because of my blast radius, I'm just gonna set a bomb here. Or not. Okay, there we go. And see, I remember when I saw Bomberman as a trophy in Smash Bros. Ultimate, and I was so happy. And it wasn't even for the classic Bomberman reasons. Like, I mean, it wasn't because I was a super fan of the original Bomberman games. It's like, oh my gosh, it's another N64 icon, because the only Bomberman game that I ever played, like, legitimately, was Bomberman Hero, and I never finished it. And I don't think I'll finish it this time around, but, like, this is just kind of a random game I decided to stream today. So, maybe in a future stream, if I don't, like, finish it today, I'll finish it another time. It's just, wasn't sure what to stream today, so I just wanted to pick up a relaxing title, and this is fairly relaxing, not, like, super stressful. It's simplistic enough to where, like, I can forgive myself for mistakes. Like, the game, while ridiculous sometimes is pretty fair, I think. Ah, damn it. I think the best part about this is still technically the tutorial planet. Wait, am I? I think I'm still on Planet Bomber. Pretty much. Let me check just to be sure, because I haven't really been paying attention. Yeah, I'm still on Planet Bomber. So, yeah, this is technically still the tutorial. The first few levels obviously were the tutorial, but, like, this whole planet is basically your starting area. So I wouldn't necessarily call the whole thing a tutorial, like, this is just, like, level 1. But, I mean, I would kind of compare it to, like, World 1 of, like, Mario, for example. Oh, Axel, good to see ya! If that's the Axel, I mean, I don't know anyone else who has the name Corruptor Axel, but I mean, if that's the Axel I'm thinking of, good to see ya! Things Bomberman Hero and Persona 5 have in common? I'm curious to what that is. And I got hit by a cloud with goggles on. Like, okay, so I'm not saying that Konami ripped off a lot of Nintendo franchises in this game, but it's very suspicious. A super long tutorial. Yep, absolutely. Because I've seen, like, like the Mario Cloud, and then I've also seen Geodude. I mean, I'm not saying that that's the case, but it's just like, it just seems a little bit suspicious. Yeah, like I was kind of really deciding like what I was gonna... Oh hey, it's that plane from earlier. It took him this long. But today I was kind of like in between streaming this or like Pokemon Stadium 2 minigames or something. I might do that for a future like chill, like short stream. I might do like the Pokemon Stadium minigames, because those were a ton of fun when I was a kid. Like I was terrible at just regular Pokemon Stadium and just Pokemon in general when I was a kid, but I loved the minigames. Because the only reason that I would actually launch Pokemon or put in Pokemon Stadium and 2 was for those minigames, and I fell. Oh, it's gonna take away my bombs. No. Okay, it just took away 1, so that's fine. I mean, I actually prefer it a little bit, just because I've been hurting myself with my own blast radius more than anything else. It's just gonna take more to take out certain enemies until I find another one, which they're fairly, like, generous spreading them out throughout the level, so I'm not too concerned. Okay, so I can't destroy those. Yeah, I think there's actually one right over here somewhere. Yeah, like, I panicked for a little bit because I thought that it would take away all of my bombs, but I guess not. Okay, so there's... I'm actually not sure what this power-up over here is. Okay, I gotta be real gentle here. So, I'm guessing this is like a shield of some kind? So, the problem that I've always had with Bomberman Hero is that you have all of these items that they're just not properly explained what they're for. So this item right here, no idea what it does. And then of course the crystals, I'm assuming, are literally just for score and not for really anything important. Because I'm not really here for score, I'm just here to play the game. Got hot chocolate, a banana, and waffles. Ooh, sounds good. I had some spaghetti earlier, and then I've also got another energy tea because this helps me to kind of stay focused when I stream, and I definitely needed something to kind of wake me up. Because I like coffee, but I just, I don't really have time to make any at the moment. And there's that, and, like, I can't do energy drinks anymore. Like, when I was a teenager, I loved Rockstar, Monster, a little bit of Red Bull, but, like, nowadays, I can't do energy drinks. I remember, like, back when I worked at Toys R Us, for example, I would usually just get coffee because, like, I tried energy drinks at first, but the crash was just too much. So I think I'm just out of his range where I can hit him, but he can't hit me. Got hot chocolate, matcha or sencha. Both teas are great for pick-me-ups. Well, it's a local place that serves just like energy teas, so it's not anything like that I made. Oh, I nearly fell right at the end. I would have been so mad. But I do have some, like, flavored tea and stuff. Tea was really hard for me to get into. Like, I hated it first because of how bitter it was, but now I've kind of sort of started liking tea. You know, I wish the subtitles would have clarified who's talking, because I haven't, like... Oh, look at this creepy motherfucker. I think, oh yeah, so, more childhood flashbacks. I remember this guy's, like, laugh scared me quite a bit. Streamer conditions his body to like the nastiest beverages. Yeah, kind of. I mean, I can drink, like, standard tea, sweet tea. Like, I'm getting to the point where I can enjoy tea a lot more, because I just hated it for so many years, but I've kind of been slowly getting into it, more open-minded. Yeah. Like, I really want to be able to make tea for people at some point, because that's part of, like, the martial arts thing that I've been doing, is when I get to a certain belt, I will be making tea. This guy sounds like he's been smoking for like 80 years. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna make it this time. Okay, so he's done with that. So what's his next move? Okay. Kind of like a homing attack. So, I probably won't make it this time, but barring any unforeseen instances, but I think at some point he does like a rapid fire attack, and that's what's gonna kill me. Yep. Not a rapid fire, but he got me. I still don't like Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts, I don't think any adult does. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Brussels sprouts either, really. Ugh. Okay, so I gotta kind of learn the pattern that he's doing here. So maybe if I just stay, like, stationary? Nope, that doesn't work.
Man, this guy's annoying. He's gonna destroy me again, and then I'm gonna lose all of my power, and it's gonna take me more time to take him out. Yep, there I go. Ah, screw you, you, robot dragon chameleon thing. Okay, so maybe if I just, like, throw one and then just kind of focus on... Ah! I'm gonna hear this guy's laugh in my dreams! Remember what I said about this game being hand-holdy? It is not holding my hand anymore. Either that or I'm just terrible, but either way, screw you, dude. Come down and face me with honor. Don't sit there on your pedestal and hit me with electric shocks. Oh, I'm gonna die. Yep. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, and then he's gonna hit me with his stupid homing attack. Okay, so I'm just gonna ring around the roseate and just, like, keep him kind of centered here. Because, like, if I just keep running, I'll be able to get out of his range. Every time I do that, he gets into an invincibility phase where... Maybe I have to hit him in the back? Ooh, this is making me dizzy. Okay, there we go. So I just have to hit him straight head on. So even if I die this round, I've got a strategy in mind, so that's the important thing. I just can't get too close, I gotta keep him centered. And then once he looks at me, throw a bomb. There we go! Woo! I got him! Wait, did he just explode into dollar bills?
I did it!
Evil villain that's slain hundreds of universal species. Let's play jump rope with electricity. Hey, as long as it works, yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of the point where it stops holding my hand, and I appreciate the difficulty spike, because, like, it's almost like conquering, it's like conquering a childhood fear. Not that I'm afraid of this game by any means, but, like, it's, say, for example, you look back on, say, if you were afraid of, like, your closet, or the dark, or under your bed, and so on, and then you conquer that fear as an adult. It's kind of the same thing, like, there's a boss that was just so much trouble as a kid, and then I conquer it much quicker than I would have back then.
Good job.
Good job. So I'm going to check something on the stream real quick. I just need to make sure that certain things are working. So, for those of you in chat, are my tags there? Save for the English tag. I just need to make sure that, like, my 2000s nostalgia stuff is there. I want to see the robots with the nut-shaped wheels just bounce around and make the sounds of a washing machine with a brick in it. Oh. Okay, so I'm getting, like, memories of this level, like... Because it's like, there's certain levels that I just remember more than others, and, like, just the visual aspect of them. Like, not necessarily the levels themselves, but just the visuals of them. So, like, I remember this rainbow-esque appearance, and I fell. Oh, I guess that was a bonus stage anyway. New memory unlocked? Yeah, absolutely. So, looking at the Area 1 thing, I want everyone in chat to kind of guess what that is. Personally, my first thought was Grimace, the old McDonald Land character. But it also kind of looks like Play-Doh or like gelatin. Slime Land, yeah! So it's like the reverse Nickelodeon. But I like how you can see the slimy thing, and then you can see the castle, and then inside the castle is the last one, so I guess there's like continuity there. Groog Hills, Bubble Hole, Waterway. I guess it's sending me straight to here. So now we're on the second planet. The princess is very close. She's inside Primus Castle. See, the reason that I say Primus instead of Primus is I'm sure that you can probably say it either way, but Primus, I think of it because of the band Primus. But if you're not into, like, really obscure rock, I would definitely not look them up. But, yeah, there's a band called Primus, and that's why that's what I kind of think of when they say Primus. Beep boops, son, beep boop. Think about it though, right? Imagine when we actually have space travel, how nuts would it be to just see through the viewport of your ship with this giant, almost blank-looking gas giant in front of you that stretches for 100 suns. Wow, Dio, we're like getting into existential dread this stream. Yeah, like, when I played Universe Sandbox in VR, I just couldn't. Like, it was a cool game, but like the absolute scale of those universal explosions was just too much for me to handle. What is chasing me? Oh, he is not leaving me alone. Like, help, Oh god, there's two of them! Are they still chasing me? Oh no, no, they're all over the place! What am I gonna do? Oh, and I drowned. Half-Life 1 snarks. Yeah, they kind of are snarks. I'm gonna try to, because I think if they just collide with the bomb, they explode. You know what? I'm just gonna ignore the snarks for now, and I'm gonna hit this violent plant thing. That thing's actually pretty scary looking. Because it's got a mouth in the center, and then its eyes are a different angle. There should be a sound mod to turn those little things into snark noise. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Hey, like, if any of my streams, like, revitalize, like, movements into some of these older games to, like, mod them or add texture packs and stuff like that, I am all for it. I really want to see, especially games that I grew up with, get a new coat of paint, so to speak, and other people that may never have experienced them to get to enjoy it. Because Bomberman Hero has kind of been forgotten in the grand scheme of things. Because of course it was Bomberman in a 3D platforming space. It wasn't a traditional Bomberman game. Kind of like how Star Fox Adventures was panned because it wasn't a traditional Star Fox game. So Bomberman Hero kind of has that same fate in that regard. Attack 2 freeze flowers at the same time, they'll give you flower sprinkles. Hey, Seeky Droid, good to see ya. But yeah, like Bomberman Hero, like I'll always have nostalgia for games like this, but I can definitely see why people may not have liked certain games, and I can definitely like point out like things that I would have problems with as an adult, but I mean, there's still that childhood love and appreciation for it, for what they are, which is why I love Star Fox Adventures and this game and so on. Okay, so I don't think I can make that jump. Let me go over here and see if there's a way that I can go over there. Maybe if I do this. Yeah, that doesn't work. Can you inch your way on the edge where that patch of grass is? Possibly. No. So maybe if I jump on top of this and then I use that to jump over there. Oh, made the jump.
I did it!
I'll say hi every time. Maybe one day you'll learn from memory. Yeah, like, I think I'm getting better. It's C-Key Droid, and with that pronunciation that Dio's provided, it helps quite a bit. Oh, I guess we're into that slime. So, a lot of these levels I have not seen since probably like 2003, maybe 2004, because I think that's the last time that I made it this far into the game. So, a lot of what I'm seeing is just memories from my childhood, and I'm going off of memory from 20 years ago. Does Mazu incorporate Half-Life 1 movement into most game titles? You gonna mess around with that one day to have a wacky stream? Absolutely. I still think it's incredible that somebody was able to put Spyro in Half-Life 1. I definitely, now that I have a Quest 2, I'd really like to play like Doom and Half-Life in VR, now that I have the opportunity to do that. Because I have Resident Evil 4 VR, and I just haven't played it much, because I do want to do that on stream, but the problem is that with the Quest 2, whenever... Oh, this damn slime thing. The problem with the Quest 2 is that whenever you get out of your play space, it shows your room, like, in your play space, so you don't run into a wall. And my only concern is if I do that, will it show my room on stream, and I don't want to do that, so... That's the only thing, like, preventing me from doing it. So I guess that's probably just some testing that I've got to do before I do something like that. Because I do have the capability to do that, I just don't know if I want to because of the aforementioned issue. You should do half pain. Well, I mean, if I have that issue with the Quest 2 and the showing my room off, then it's going to be full pain, but... I mean, yeah, absolutely. Like, I really want to stream VR stuff at some point. It's just, right now, I just don't really feel like it. I think I've only ever, like, I've done videos in VR, but I've streamed VR maybe, like, once on a separate project that I was working on, but save for that, I've never really kind of ventured into streaming virtual reality. Just because virtual reality itself is really taxing to run, and then streaming it at the same time is also going to be an issue. Rocket jumping, bunny hopping, air strafing, surfing, all of it is awesome. Oh yeah, that would be really cool. So, I didn't get to play Half-Life 1 until years later. But I did play, I don't remember if I played much of it, if at all, but I remember when my grandpa got Half-Life 2 when it came out back in 2004. I still, on my shelf, it's either on my shelf or it's put away, but I have the physical copy that still has the Best Buy price tag on it. I don't think he got very far into Half-Life 2. I think we got to, like, Ravenholm, and then that was it. Oh, hey, we're in a bounce castle. Woo! But I can't take that risk because I've got to take these guys out first. Oh, wait, I can just do this. Or not. Hey, Blaze, good to see ya! Also, once again, thank you for all your help in the animation project. Okay, what if I destroy those, like, big bubble things? Okay, so they just, reappear. So how am I supposed to... Do I have to... Oh, I guess I can make that jump. A little late, Axel no stream. Yeah, Axel gave me a follow, and I'm very grateful for it. And no worries, Sarah. It's good to have you on the stream. While you get the opportunity, can you check to see if my tags are okay? I know that you usually change them throughout the stream, but like, are my default ones available? Just because I can't check that while I'm streaming, because I don't want to have the audio bleed through. But are my default ones there? That's just really all I want to know for the time being, as far as that's concerned. Okay, yeah, thank you for that, Dio. That's just sometimes I can't trust it to put my tags in, because sometimes it'll just delete it, so I have to make sure that they actually go there. But yeah, feel free to change them if you'd like, Sarah, but as always, thank you for coming to the stream. I really appreciate it. So, again, I'm probably going to avoid the enemies for the most part. But, like, just as an adult playing this, I'm just like, what even are some of these enemies? Like, it's literally Easter Island heads that are fighting me right now. And clams with missiles. Aw, come on. And then we got starfish. Oh, just barely made that. So, Bomberman, why are you not using your bombs? Oh, come on, you stupid clam. There we go. That is one angry manta ray. You give no gum dum dum. That's a memory and a half. Night at the museum. This implies that these are part of a natural ecosystem. I wonder how raising an Easter Island head must be. Have I played this game before? Yes, I have, but I have not played it since the early 2000s. Full, like, to this extent, at least. I played it throughout the years, on various different, like, laptops and stuff, but, I never really got further than the first 2 levels. So, a lot of what I'm seeing is, a lot of this is, I haven't played this part of the game since, like, 2003. Oh, hey, more manta rays. Okay, so I'm not gonna risk that. I'm just gonna go forward. No point in losing health for some, trick. Those entrances look cursed. Aw, man! Now looking at that, like, I can't unsee that now. He's got... oh, no! Yeah, thank you for adding the tag, Sarah, but, I can't unsee what Dio has just said, so... Man, I wonder if it would be more viable for me to just use one of my lives to get back to full health, but, I mean, I don't want to do that and have to go through, you know, again. Bomberman, why are you not using your bombs, yo? Okay, there we go. Worth it. Well, I mean, it could be worse. But this is kind of what I was saying, like, we're looking at this from an adult's perspective and not a child's one. I guess he recycles what he eats, man. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
I did it!
Okay, water slider. That sounds fun. Oh, this level! So again, a lot of this is, a lot of these levels I have not seen since probably 2003. But, like, even if the level was difficult for me as a child, like, just seeing it again just brings back a wave of nostalgia, because I remember the difficulty, but I'm just wondering, can I conquer it as an adult? Look at the low-res water. I was actually looking at the low-res, like, bricks and stuff. Oh, thank you for the follower notification, Sarah. I really appreciate that. I keep forgetting that I'm a hazard to myself. Yep. So maybe I need to downgrade my bomb just a little bit, because I am more of a hazard to myself than I am to enemies. The background being just a bunch of giant bricks is great. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like, now that I'm actually looking at that, that's... Not only that, when I jump, you can kind of see it move a little bit. But, I mean, this is like... It's a water slide. But I'm gonna say that this is a water slide and not a sewer system. Or it could be like an aqueduct or something like that. There's nothing there. Okay. See, I remember having so much trouble at this part because of the force of the water pushing me the other direction. And again, I don't know what those items do over there. I think they're just like for score, and there's really diminishing returns at that point if I go that way. No, don't you dare! There we go. If this is a sewer system and that's the side of a brick wall, I don't even want to imagine what the deposits are like. Wow, like, chat's just having a good time with this today, and I'm here for it. How long is this game? Short like Star Fox? Well, to be honest with you, Sarah, I don't know. Because since this is, I've seen people able to beat this game in less than 3 hours. But that's also speedrunners we're talking about. I'm not going for any particular, like, score or anything. I'm just playing the game just to beat it, because it'll be like a... Like, I'm not... Like, I could probably get decently far, but I'm not confident they'll be able to beat it in this stream. Always watching, always moderating stats, which is fine. And I like to start viewing and editing this kind of stuff. Looks like the game is running now, though. Now you mention it, there was worries over playability early stream. Yeah, it's playable. It's just really the frame rate dips pretty badly sometimes. I'm sure there's probably performance modifications and things like that I could probably do, but I just kind of went into this playing it vanilla.
I never noticed it. Maybe it's a host thing. She could probably just jump off that and run.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because those robots can only move like in certain directions. Yeah, it's it's something that you wouldn't really see on stream either. Like, it's more just sometimes I'll get the occasional slowdown. Like, it's not like anything that'll prevent me from playing it. It's just I think it's just a natural part of running the game. Like, the game itself just slows down sometimes because so many N64 games had that issue. Like, in Mario 64, for example, when you go into the, I think it's on Dire Docks for the first time, when you see Bowser's submarine, in every version of the game, there's a slowdown of frame rate to like 10 frames per second because just having that much on screen is just too much for Mario 64 to handle. So I'm kind of used to N64 games having a slowdown. Imagine being a robot who discovers his only purpose is literally move in one singular direction. Oh, more weird childhood memories. So, I hope everyone's here for Eno's childhood memory marathon. Like, I just have to, like, giggle a little bit because it's just... I am just super excited to play through this because I was a little bit skeptical at first. I'm like, oh, do I really want to play Bomberman Hero? And now that I'm seeing all these things again for the first time in probably 20 years, I'm just super excited for it. Especially when I get to share, like, games that didn't really get a lot of love, like Star Fox Adventures and so on. And I don't really count Skies of Arcadia because that game got a lot of love. It's just very underappreciated and not as well known as it should be. That is a door with a face. It looks like something out of Blue's Clues. We just got a letter.
I did it!
I wonder what the robots do when the protagonist isn't present. They just all sit together and have a chat. They can't take lunch breaks, so they just kind of nibble on the floor for crumbs. Because people in the past were harsh critics to games. Yeah. And like I said earlier in the stream, is that Bomberman Hero was a departure from the standard format of Bomberman, kind of like Star Fox Adventures was in a way, where with the N64 being such a new technology and everyone wanting to kind of explore what they could do with it, like this was, there was Bomberman 64, of course, which I didn't play. I think this is a direct sequel to that game, but Bomberman 64, I think, was their first, and then that one I never played. But Bomberman Hero was another attempt by, this specifically would be Konami, to make their mascot in 3D and see how it did. And, I mean, I personally really love this game, but critics would think differently. But at the same time, if you find enjoyment in something, it doesn't matter what a critic says. I mean, if it makes you happy, that's what's important. It's kind of the same thing with movies. Like, back when I used to have DirecTV, I remember that you could look at the movies and it would show you, like, the viewer score and then the critic score, and 9 times out of 10 the viewer score would be, like, in the 80s and 90s, and then the critic score would be in the 20s, because a critic's job is to nitpick. They're not really there for the entertaining factor. And I mean, I've critiqued things in the past, but I mean, I'm a much less of a harsh critic when it comes to these things because I can see where people come from. And I'm also not paid to do it, so... Don't get me wrong, though, there's a lot of things that I'd love to just... I'd like to point out for certain games and movies, but, I mean, I'm respectful about it because, like, I can see what they're going for in a lot of aspects. Like, for this game, like, I see that there was a lot of, like, there was a lot of love put into it, especially in the soundtrack. Because, like, there's a lot of variety here. It's just that it was very experimental. They just kind of wanted to see, like, where it would go, and Bomberman didn't really have a lot of, like, really big games in the years following. I believe Konami tried rebooting it at one point in 2012, but it was a very, like, gritty and realistic approach. It wasn't cutesy like this game is. Okay, that's lame. He literally, like, took his tail off and launched it at me. This is gonna bother me throughout the stream. I'm still curious what this item does. It kind of looks like a, not a bulletproof vest, but like a protective vest. And I'm guessing, like, maybe that helps, like, negate enemy damage, but at the same time, anytime an enemy hits me, I still take a heart's worth of damage, so I'm not sure what that does. Probably something completely different, and I'm just not aware of it, but I'm not really going out of my way to grab those. It makes it easier for you to be spotted by cars. The one at the top center of my screen, the one that kind of looks like it's a yellow and orange vest type item. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna go up. Yeah, I'm not sure what it does. Okay, chat, I'm gonna leave this up to you. Should I go down or should I go up? And I'll just listen to this awesome tune while we wait. Up. Do we have any takers for down? Okay, that's 2 for up. Alright, up it is. Okay, that's 3. So let's go up. Million Road. Is that how it's pronounced? Million? Like as in $1 million? Or is it like some obscure pronunciation like Mylion or something? Even though these levels are hard, I really love the bomber jet. It's just the music that plays I just love. And I will forever, like, compliment the soundtrack. There's those robots again. So I think I'm just gonna... Oh god, the game is, like, really slowing down here. Come on, Bomberman, you can recover from this. We can get out of this PowerPoint presentation. Okay, we're getting a little bit... There we go. Yeah, that was like, woof. That was a rough frame drop there. Oh, it's one of those knives again. So, I think there's just really no incentive for me to actually fight these enemies, save for score, and I'm not really going for score, just for completion. So I think I might just go past them and avoid them. Because there's really no point in me actually fighting any of them if it doesn't really add anything to the end of the level. But I guess I kind of lucked out with, so thank you, chat, for having me go up, because I get to do one of these levels again. Yeah, but this is pretty simplistic in design. It's just basically just hit it until it dies. Like, I don't think hitting the cannons really does anything for it. Okay, Dark Prison, and then after that we get to fight Nitros again. Yeah, the game is like really slowing down here. I mean, it's still playable, it's just, it gets kinda jank. Because, part of it is I don't know if this is a game issue or if this is just an issue with me running it on a completely different system. I mean, it doesn't bother me too much. I just, like, when the game slows down like this, I tend to try to rush through the levels. Might be the system. Yeah, it's not perfect. So, okay, so when I'm back here, okay, so when I come over here, it slows down a little bit, but then when I come over here, it's fine. Because as you noticed, there's been quite a few like visual bugs, and that's just a side effect of the upscaling. Because certain like see when there's a like a black bar around some of the explosion effects. Yeah, because since I haven't played these levels since about 2003, a lot of this is, like, this is uncharted territory, so, like, I don't, and because I wasn't really paying attention to, game performance back then, like, I don't know, like, what's what, but, I mean, it's not a big deal to me, at least. Also, that giant brick wall has returned. So, I think that thing there gives me all of my health back, or at least gives me 1 health back and then some bombs. But I don't need it right now, so I'm gonna save it just in case I die. Well, I might do that just so, just in case the enemy in here has a, one of those things that I need. Okay, so it does not. Okay, so how did I get over here? Did I just... Oh, I jumped from here. I'm not gonna make that jump! No, Bomberman! Oh, and game over, too. It's okay, though, because I can just continue from where I left off. I don't think it penalizes me. Yeah, it literally just puts me right back here. I mean, I lose all of my power, but, I mean, it's... Like I said, the game is fairly generous with power-ups, so you pretty much can get all of your power-ups back in one level. Okay, so I'm gonna... I think the more enemies that I kill, the better, because that'll help with game performance, I think. Yeah, so I think it's just because there's too many enemies on screen. Okay. You gonna go up? Apparently not. Yes, I've been busy all morning trying to clean up my desk for my setup's reinstallation. Oh yeah, because you got your thing fixed, so you're able to go back into your office. But still, I mean, that's good news. I mean, I'm really happy that you're able to go back into your office and have that privacy again, because that was something that I always struggled with, was privacy. And, like, even though I'm in an apartment now and I don't have to worry about family members or people in a college dorm anymore, I'm still kind of hesitant to be, like, super loud because of that, like, conditioning that I had. But, I mean, I think really I could only have to worry about that when it's like, I don't know, like 12 in the morning or something. Because I do want to do some late night streams at some point, because I, like, say for example, if like it's been like a rough day or something, I'd like to do a late night chill stream, like maybe like play Sonic Adventure or something. You know, something stress-free that all of us can just come and relax to. Okay, so... Okay, so that's why I fell, because I need to jump on this one. Okay, so the last one is that one over there, but... To open... Well, thanks, robot, I already knew that. Sonic Adventure plus stress-free. Yeah, I mean, I consider that to be like a... more of a chill game, like... Especially Sonic Adventure 2. Just because, like, I can pick up and play that game, and I don't really have to worry about going through, like, some intricate story or, like, having a super difficult boss, with the exception of the ending of that game. Well, later levels give me anxiety. Yeah, like the Bio Lizard is a special kind of hell. I remember how many times I tried doing the Bio Lizard and failed because it was just such a hard boss. Yeah, very funky music. Like I said, the soundtrack is very good, very varied. Okay, so if I do that, kill that enemy, and then that should activate the elevator. But with this, I can actually just fall on top of this, do this, and let's see what I get. Friggin' point crystal. Yeah, and multiplayer for Sonic Adventure 2 is really fun. I remember playing that as multiplayer for that as recently as like 2016? 2015 maybe?
I did it!
Let me just aggro on that dude that's let me out of the cage that I've been sitting in for 60 years, right? Well, I hate to run, but time for work. Sadly, have a good day, everyone. Well, thanks for coming into the stream anyway, Blaze. I mean, I'm really happy to have you here, and everyone else is really happy to have you here, so have a good day at work. Oh, we're gonna get to fight Nitros again! Itchy Bomberman boy! And generic princess that's doing the Princess Leia pose. Bomberman, Piebot, thank goodness you're here. Nitros is looking for the disc I stole. Is that a wooden slab? She's been sleeping on a wooden slab? I guess so. With no pillow, no covers, nothing. Bomberman, you're a persistent little creature. I'm not letting this girl go. No, I think he'd probably have like a much higher, like a teenager type voice. Because, like, seeing how Bomberman has, like, a really childish-sounding voice, I assume Nitros would have something similar. Maybe a little older. So, as I mentioned earlier, this boss is essentially the same, but each time you fight him, a new phase is added. So, these little things in the center will hurt you if you touch it. Oh, now he can set his own bombs. Oh, I actually prevented him from doing an attack. Oh! Now we're doing Beyblade! I mean, really, I just have to spam bombs at him and eventually I'll kill him. See, I was wondering if I could damage him with his own Beyblade, because that would just be justice. Sam, I wonder what these icons, like these symbols on the ground mean. Like, I don't know if they have anything for this, yeah, well, I don't know if they have anything for this boss battle, but maybe in the future they do? Better betting than most Airbnbs. My friend was talking about Beyblade earlier. They put cap gun cartridges around the edges that whenever they make contact, there'd be some spark. Ooh. I remember playing with Beyblades, though. They were pretty cool. Can't say the same for the show, because I don't really remember watching much of Beyblade. But, I mean, the toys were really neat. Because you had, like, these little arena things that you would... like, these little tiny little stadiums that you would use. Oh, God, this freaking bird. Oh, no! Oh, childhood trauma. Blue symbol was the spikes, X orange was the Beyblade, and when he was on the green, that was the big pillar. Oh, okay, but no, I am not excited for this next boss. I mean, I'm not going to go there immediately, but Baruda, I am not excited for this guy. Oh, I remember how much I hated him as a kid, and I probably will still hate him as an adult. But I feel like with the support of everybody in chat, I can finish him off, but I just absolutely hate this boss. But we'll get through it together. I like there were rare ones too. Having a friend who had a rare Beyblade was like looking at gold when you were at school. Sarah, why? Oh, I get the helicopter attachment this time. It's like a gyro bomber, I think it's called. Bomber copter. Well, I guess it's simple. Oh, yeah, this music too. Like, I'm gonna point out like certain tracks in this game because Okay, so I have to continually press the A button to float. To open the killer gate, you have to destroy the 10 submarine. Killer gate, well, okay. Yeah, like I really have to like mash the button to stay afloat. So I guess this does give me some incentive to kill these enemies because I need to see if I can get more power from my bomb. Come on, Bomberman, float! I guess holding it does it too. Maybe I'm just overcomplicating things as usual. I mean, this is unique, though, like, having a literal helicopter hat and destroying submarines. Yeah, so in the 2 hours-ish that I've streamed, I've made it further than I probably made it in the game in, like, months of play as a child. Because, again, I would just, like, because the game got, like, a little more difficult near the end, or, like, the further you went, it's just, I would just play the starting levels over and over again, because that's really all that I wanted to do, was, like, if I wanted to play a game, I just would play something really easy, and, I guess just playing through the starting levels was what it did. So after the stream, I'm gonna look up and see what some of these items do, and like, I'm gonna see if maybe I missed out on something. Because like maybe if I get like a certain amount of an item, like there's an ending or like a secret weapon or something, like, because this is an N64 game, so there's probably something to it, but at the same time, like, I'm not going for score, so there's really not any incentive for me to gather these crystals. Because there's no point in them other than score. They don't give you any currency, they're not currency, they don't give you any health back, so it's just I think I've been watching too much Angry Video Game Nerd. I mean, James is awesome, but like I've been watching way too much AVGN lately. Back from Noms, checking out what's new in Yu-Gi-Oh? Kind of like that picture that I posted in my server with the dual disc. That's what's new in Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, goody, another N64 Spiral Tower. Because there certainly wasn't a ton of those already. Okay, so I'm gonna take this opportunity to kind of just, it's gonna bother me until I see. So, Bomberman Hero was released on April 30th, 1998. So I'm kind of thinking in the time period of 1998, like what other games came out at that time. So I believe Ocarina of Time came out in 98. And I think Star Fox 64 was either 97 or 98, but... No! I can't be the only one who wanted to drive all the vehicles strewn about, open ships, abandoned cars, alien stuff. Seeing games with its broken down cars on the road and not being able to drive them. Yeah, like, especially in Left 4 Dead, like, when I see the cars in Left 4 Dead, like, I just was amazed when I first played it how you could jump on top of the cars, you could shoot the, like, the glass would on the windshield would actually, properly, quote-unquote, replicate the shots. I just thought that was amazing when I was younger. Now it's a pretty simple thing, and... Health. All cars in video games somehow have no gas, so they're missing a whole ass engine. At least in Half-Life 2's case, like, a lot of those cars have been sitting there for 20 years. But, like, in Left 4 Dead and... Well, I guess in Left 4 Dead it's understandable because you're not... With all the, like, roads being blocked by people, like, trying to escape the zombies, it makes sense that there wouldn't be any incentive to get into a car, save for Jimmy Gibbs' vehicle. But, yeah, like, there's just, like, especially in games where, like, you're trying to get from point A to point B as fast as possible, and there are cars just strewn about, and the character doesn't think, like, oh, well, maybe, I could get into this vehicle and, get there faster, but, I mean, I guess you also have to take into account, like, maybe the car keys aren't there, and not every video game character is gonna know how to hotwire a vehicle. I was making you some highlights on your Star Fox vid. Want me to do it in Skies for Kid? Yeah, if you would, Sarah. Like, anything you want to do, I'm all for when it comes to that. Like, I would really appreciate that. I also made some clips and stuff as well, but yeah, I'd really appreciate that, Sarah. It's like those video game equivalent all the cell phones and horror movies having no reception. Or if they have no reception, they'll, whether it be the reception or they'll just run towards the killer, or they will split up. Or like in the case where they could literally just run away and they don't. They're like, oh, well, we gotta see what the killer's doing. But I guess, you know, if they did stuff like that, then there wouldn't really be a horror movie, so you kind of have to suspend your disbelief and just accept the fact that these people are idiots. And also, to be fair, when you're in a frightening situation, like a horror movie, for example, like, your body kind of goes into a fight or flight mode, so you don't really think rationally unless you're really trained in that mindset. Like, even me, like, even somebody who's been trained in martial arts for nearly 2 years, like, I still have that fight or flight mechanic in me. It's just a natural part of being human. But I mean, like, something that I've learned that kind of helps with that is to breathe. Like, when I'm in that moment, like, I have to remember to breathe, because if I start hyperventilating, then it just makes it worse. So I just gotta remember to breathe. And that's something that's really helped with, like, sparring and dueling has really helped with my self-confidence in that regard, because I think a lot of us have had that situation where, like, even whether it be in school or in public, it's like, you know, like, you would say, like, oh, man, I really just, You just really want to, like, punch that bully or whatever. But you just don't think, like, what you would do if that actually came to that. A video game where people can go to every interior and get in every car they want to pick up every gun or weapon, even if it's super impractical and it wasn't meant for the human to drive or wheel. Horror movie where the villain Deus Ex Machina us all over the place to win while the victims do everything right. Yeah! Yeah, it's like, there's just, some, like, with horror movies, like, I just really have to suspend my disbelief when it comes to a lot of the plot points. Like, because Friday the 13th, for example, got super ridiculous near the end. Because, like, I think the last one was Jason Goes to Hell, but I think, well, technically, Freddy vs. Jason was the last one. I'm not really counting the 2009 reboot, but, like, for example, Jason Takes Manhattan was ridiculous. Like, at some point, they just knew that what they were doing was a little bit weird. Yep, I'm dead. Damn it. Jason X, too. Yeah, Jason X. Like, they knew what they were doing. Like, they knew how ridiculous things were getting, so they might just go over the top. It's like, oh, he just wants his machete back! And he's, like, what, 500 years in the future or something? It's like, I understand that Jason is a revenant, but you're telling me on a futuristic ship with plasma weaponry and, like, state-of-the-art security systems, you can't take out a walking corpse with a machete? Because that's what Jason Voorhees is. He's a revenant. He's kind of in the same vein as Scorpion. He's a corpse that has, like, a vengeful spirit attached to it. So not quite a zombie, but not quite like an evil spirit either. Yeah, my family was, like, really big into horror movies when I was young. We still are, but I just remember that my uncle and my aunt were really big into Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, stuff like that. Which is strange that I never really got into Dead by Daylight. Like, I love the lore of Dead by Daylight, and I like watching people play it, and I love the characters and the recreations of all of these iconic villains. But I've just never really been into playing it, so to speak, just because, like, I've never really been good with player versus player games like that. You made the right choice for Dead by Daylight. It's so toxic. Yeah. It's just like when you get super popular games like that, it's really hard to actually enjoy them. Because people will grief and... like, if you're playing with just, like, your friends or something, then that's a different story. Because you kind of have a little bit of control in that environment. Because you know that if something happens, it's just going to be a slapstick moment between some friends rather than some random internet jerk who purposely ruins your game. It's kind of like Friday the 13th. Like, I really liked Friday the 13th, the game, before it got into all that legal nonsense, but I liked playing it, but, like, over time, people would just grief you, and they would help Jason, they would run you over in the car, so it just ceased to be fun.
I did it!
Too much potential for people to be annoying, filled with hackers, toxic people, and bully squads. Exactly, the same thing with Friday the 13th. Playing with friends just needs to need full fight people. Yeah, you'd have to, like, plan around it to kind of do that. I mean, like, if it was just my community here and the chat and some friends, then I would absolutely be down to play Dead by Daylight just in a controlled environment where I can learn to play the game and kind of experience it the way that it's supposed to be experienced. It's just that I have a really big problem with playing just with random people and matchmaking, just because you just never know if somebody's going to hack or they're going to grief, and you just won't have a good time with it. Which is why I tend to play PVM stuff, where it's co-op rather than PvP. Dead by Daylight doesn't do it for me. Oh, well, also, welcome to the stream, Inktition? But yeah, like, yeah, oh, stream hiccup, did it crash? Okay, yeah, it might have been my net doing its thing again, but oh, well, thank you for the following, Tishan. Yeah, there might be a few stream hiccups, but like I've mostly resolved the situation. Because previously I've had, like, whenever a frame drop would happen, I'd lose connection, but I've, for the most part, fixed that issue. But now we're gonna fight this boss that I absolutely hate. You'll see why. First of all, there's so much going on screen right now. What even is this on my screen? Like, what is that? Oh, it's like a rock or something? Yeah, this is the reason I hate this boss. Because it's just, you have to use the copter and you have to get above him in order to hit him. And sometimes Bomberman will just not release his bombs. Like right now, that took me like maybe 3 or 4 button presses to actually drop the bomb. So, generally with these bosses, I don't intend to beat it the first time around, just because I gotta kind of feel them out first, to kind of see like what I'm going for. Kind of looks like a bird version of like. It's kind of like a mixture of Woody the Woodpecker and Dr. Robotnik. Okay. Okay, he's flying too high for me to hit him, so I gotta lower my altitude. Okay. Oh, no! It's okay, though. I was not intending to beat it the first time. Okay. Yeah, it seems like every time I hit him, he gets just a little bit bigger. Bomberman, you literally drop bombs for a living. And so, I would appreciate it when I press the button, you drop the bombs! I mean, as aggravating as this is, it's definitely not as, like, infuriating as it was when I played this game 20 years ago. Because again, I think a lot of it is just misremembering it from being a child and just overestimating the difficulty. Because as a child, I mean, I was used to more simplistic type games and... like, I didn't really understand boss mechanics as a child, so... Okay, that's gonna hit. Okay, so now he's in that phase. And I will take a look at the chat once I've finished with this. I just need to concentrate. Okay, it seems like the best opportunity is when he raises his altitude to hit him, because he stays stationary when he raises his altitude. Also when he shoots his belly laser thing. Okay. Hopefully just a few more hits. Okay. There we go! Yeah! Tackling my childhood trauma one boss battle at a time. What Half-Life creature would you reasonably want to have as a pet? Mine would want to be a Houndeye. See, I can't say Vortigaunt because Vortigaunts are like sentient and intelligent. Maybe a Snark. Kind of like in Half-Life Alyx, that Alex had a pet Snark, just because Snarks are small and I think they're more manageable. I wouldn't want to have a head crab because that would just be creepy. Did you figure out the black elements on screen were supposed to be Cloud? Yeah, I guess so. Like, I just had no idea what they were supposed to be. Like, I just saw them, and again, a lot of this stuff is a factor of the upscaling that I'm doing, because I don't remember the game's original resolution. It was probably like 480p or something, but you also have to take into account that it was for CRTs. So me upscaling it to 1080p has a few visual artifacts, and some of it is also just because of the hardware. It's like, it's not going to be 100% perfect as it would be. I did it! Yeah! Yeah, but as far as your name is concerned, Inktition, like, I just kind of thought of, like a dietitian or, like, pediatrician. Like, that's kind of, like, where my mind was going with that. Oh, I guess I was worried that those were, like, elements that would hurt me, but I guess it's just a bouncy thing. Bull squid is the best. Bullshit. No. Yeah, bull squids are cool. Like, Half-Life, like, creatures are just cool in general, but I mean, I don't want to be like Dr. Kleiner and have a head crab that's going to jump on my head every 5 seconds. I think a Snark would just be really easy, just hard to, like, contain. Because, I mean, you'd probably have to take it outside a lot for it to run around, and then you'd also have the risk of it going around and harassing people on the sidewalk, so I think a Snark would probably be a really difficult one to have. Do I have everything? Oh, no. They eat a lot of meat, and putting that thing on a leash with all its muscles is futile. Oh yeah, also you can replay some of the previous planets too, so if you... That's primarily what I did as a kid, is I just played Planet Bomber over and over again. But, I mean, let me look... Okay, so we've got Planet Bomber, Primus, Canacia, and then there's another one, then another one. So, again, I don't think I'm going to complete it this time around, and I don't know if I'm going to stream this in the future, like in the next time on my alternating day, but I might, but I'm going to get as far as I can, and then eventually I will finish it, but I don't think today will be that day. Head crabs are relatively docile, but they need to be domesticated and debeaked consistently to have evolutionary change. Remove their urge to couple with heads. Yeah, that actually kind of reminds me of an attempt in Siberia. There's a group of, I believe, some scientists that are working to domesticate red foxes, and you can only get them from Siberia, I believe. And I've seen like some videos like comparing their behaviors to like domesticated dogs, and they're getting there, but they're still pretty wild. Because like, as much as I love foxes, I just could not, like, I could not have one as a pet just because of how much work they are. They'll pee everywhere. I mean, yeah, that's really any pet, but like foxes like to tear... Did I just fall into a pit of lava? They like to tear things up more so than your standard like dog or cat would. But if you want like a really wholesome YouTube channel and Instagram to follow, follow Juniper Fox. They're very they're an animal rehabilitation place, and they have a couple foxes. They've got a raccoon, a possum. Very educational, but also very, very cute. You know, I just got out of that stupid freaking helicopter, and now I'm back in it. Okay, so... is this a switch or something? I am a hazard to myself. And I'm dead. Okay, so let me read the chat. There's this gene in dogs which are different from wolves, which is kind of a strand affecting friendliness. Dogs have a mutation that makes them essentially unconditional to people and their owners. Wolves don't. There are cases where some humans have it and become exceedingly outgoing and too trusting. If we inject that into other alien or hostile species, it may speed up the evolutionary process. Well, you got me on that one because I failed. Well, I think I had like a C or a D in biology, so... So, the school system that I went to was not the best. Oh, I have to destroy these things. They're kind of like locks that prevent me from opening the door. Yeah, like, biology, when I was in school, the school system was not a very good one that I went to, so a lot of, I was very behind, and I still am in a lot of, aspects like math, science, and so on. But, for example, like dissection, like, I know some people have second thoughts about dissection, and that's completely okay, I understand. But when I did the dissection in, middle school, I remember that I was in detention, so I couldn't do my dissection, so I got to do like one day of it, and oh gosh, the smell. But I remember I was in art class, and there was a guy that hit me with a wooden spoon, and I got in trouble for that. And I got detention for like a week or something. It could be a separate incident that I'm remembering, but I remember I got detention, and I was in detention for like 2 or 3 days, and that was in the middle of the dissection, so I didn't get to do the rest of the frog dissection, so I kind of missed out on that grade. My biology teacher was in the middle, a bit boring, but he had fun moments. In school, my teacher, Mr. Ramirez, sprinting down the earth. Yeah, like, ooh. So what am I supposed to do? It's like I'm gonna die before I even get to the end of the level. Okay, there's a health thing right here. Oh. Okay, that makes sense. Aw. He's doing the same smiley face I am. Yeah, like, if you ever want some of Eno's school stories, I am more than happy to talk about certain things that happened to me in school, because my school system was pretty terrible. So there's a lot of stuff that happened that I could probably put into a book. Okay, I think that opened the door. Yep.
I did it!
It's the way it's taught, not the subject, although of course there's been evidence that genetics supports innate understanding in some cases. I think the majority of young adults just simply need stimulation to want to learn something and learn it well. Yeah, I think my trouble with school was that just the teachers were really not into a lot of the topics that they were teaching. So a lot of the time I would, like for math, for example, like every math teacher I ever had was not passionate about it, so they would just go onto the whiteboard, they'd write down the problem, go over it once, and then just sit and play on their laptop for the rest of the time. So, yeah, like, there were, because a lot of the teachers that were also coaches for, like, certain teams as well, so, like, you'd have a football coach that was teaching math, or, like, a football coach that was teaching history, or softball, and so on, so, like, I never really got the full experience of a proper teacher who was only there for that topic. It was mostly just people that were there to collect a paycheck and were forced to do another subject other than just coaching.
Which, to be fair, I had some cool teachers that were coaches that taught me a lot. Like, my American history teacher was really cool, and he was a softball coach, but at the same time, it's like, I felt like I was really limited in my education because of teachers like that who were primarily a different kind of teacher. Oh, I doubt it, because that's probably lava, but let me see if I can go in there. Nope! Yeah, it's also sort of like my job, for example, because since I work in local news and I work with like cameras and editing and stuff. Whoa, this is a slowdown. Is that turtle thing wearing a fez? I'm trying to kill it so I can get the frame rate back up. Okay, there we go. A little better, but still pretty terrible. But, like, for example, at my job, like, I'm pretty expendable, but at the same time, I have more experience with editing software like Adobe Premiere than anybody really at my workplace does, but nobody wants to trust me to do any editing stuff, except for the weather and so on. So, like, they brought in, like, all these teachers and stuff, and I actually had to teach our production director how to edit, because they didn't know how. Because the people that taught them how to just did not care for the material that they were teaching. So, like, I could potentially teach people how to use Premiere. Did you have any shop classes by any chance, Dio? Like construction stuff, you know, stuff like that, where you just have to, like, those wooden bridges that you had to test the strength of, and so on. Oh, now we get to use the snowboard or the skateboard or whatever. Automotive class, not woodworking. Okay. Worked on cars. Okay. Yeah, I had the option to do, like, HVAC and automotive stuff when I was in high school, but I just never did. I completely fucked that up. That's me in real life trying to do a snowboard. See, I'm gonna laugh at myself too. Like, I can't just. Okay, so I can do a little, like, a little bit of a trick there. Ooh. There we go. Yeah, that's a clip if I've ever seen one. So I think I have to do that to kill the enemies. Okay. See, I'm just not sure how I got this far back in, like, 2002, 2003. Because I remember playing this game back then, but... like, I just... oh, God. Slow down. Too many enemies on screen. But yeah, like, maybe it's just that I was using, like, maybe my uncle or my aunt's file or my older brother's, and I just played through these levels as they were. Because I remember that I did get through most of this game on my own, but it's shocking that I was able to get this far. Wow. Sorry to say, Bomberman, but that was kind of your own fault for not hearing a literal giant Is that supposed to be a shadow? Bomberman, you jerk. Bulbin will take care of you. Is that a cat lady? Oh no, I'm well, what was your first clue, genius? Trends! Oh, well, so I know that Bomberman can just materialize his bombs from thin air, but, I mean, did they really not think to close this gap here that prevents me from leaving? Okay, I do remember getting this far, because I remember the cat lady, and I remember the sand and desert theme levels. I think I got as far as to maybe, like, the last planet, before, like, the space station thing, and then that's when I stopped. Because, you know, when I was that young, I just really didn't have anything better to do than to just play outside and watch TV and play N64 and GameCube games. Thank you so much for clipping that deal. It's like snowboarding, yeah! And then immediately falls into a bottomless pit. So, strangely enough, this reminds me of Foursquare. Probably one of my favorite games to play on the playground was Foursquare. But there's just so many, like, house rules with Foursquare that I just don't know, like, what is, like, the official rule set or not. Kind of like with Tetherball. Like, Tetherball was another one. Like, there's just so many, like, different variations that were made depending on, like, the school and environment you were in. I feel like those, Pharaoh heads are gonna come out and attack me. Because I would not put it past this game to attack me with floating Pharaoh heads. I like how you were so focused and you just fell with a straight face and then you lost it, yeah. And see, that's the thing, is that I like to laugh at my own mistakes. So, like, when I screw up and it's just so obvious, I love to do that. Just because it's comedy for me and comedy for you, and... you know, it's just, you know, like, it's fun to laugh at mistakes like that. Especially because, like, I didn't come into the stream, like, completely unprepared to play this, but, like, I didn't really play too much of it beforehand. Okay, so... oh, yeah, that's right. It's like, some of this is just coming back to me, and it's amazing that I still remember some of this stuff, because sadly a lot of my childhood memories, like, I've forgotten quite a bit. But, like, some of this stuff that I just, like, it's muscle memory that I just remember. Oh, I remember these guys. I always compared them to Time Wizard from Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, but, like, for those of you who have never played this game before, obviously, just, like, I want to know your thoughts on the enemy variety chat, because it's just... and I just now noticed that there's eyeballs blinking at me on the side. What? Why? I mean, the aesthetic is just all over the place. Like, we've got this robot clock thing, and then we have eyeballs that are on the sides here, and we're supposed to be in kind of like an Egyptian, like, desert-esque environment, but I think it's very great, but I wish they did have more complex movement patterns. Yeah, Trends, that's exactly what I'm thinking, is like, what is this? Like, we're in a desert-themed level with Easter Island heads, Time Wizard, like robots, and then eyeballs that consistently blink on the side of the wall. Made it to play on Seeing and Living Through Time. True, but at the same time, I don't think it's gonna be that intricate, or like, I think it's just that the dev team was probably just like, okay, what would look cool and creepy at the same time? It's like, let's just add eyeballs that are consistently blinking. And that's not even a realistic blinking, either. That's like somebody who has something in their eye and they're just like blinking like rapidly. Or they're trying to like see if they saw something and or like maybe if you put like eye drops in and you're just trying to like get the eye drop to kind of like go over your eyeball. So oof. Dev T ha ha. Okay, let's see what awaits us here. Okay, we've got these knives again. I think this is the Blue's Clues door again. Yep. I mean, out of all the enemies that I've faced, like, the door is probably one of the stranger ones. It's like, I'm getting attacked by a frickin'... I swear, if that Pharaoh head comes... I'm pretty sure it will because I can see the shadow under it, so that shows that it's not just a background element. But this Pharaoh head is gonna come at me. I guarantee it. I knew it! You can't hide it from me! Oh, you've gotta be kidding me. We went from, like, clock robots to a Pharaoh head to a sentient door with a face on it. Like, seriously, who is this guy that's creating these minions? Philosophically, the Bomberman represents life. Life comes on by and blows up on time, erasing them from existence. Life is shortened, so the eyes represent life fading away in the blink of an eye. A bit depressing, but it bears a meaning to that room aesthetic. That's what I'd come up with. Well, I mean, that's more profound than anything I would have come up with. Yeah, that is bait. It's like... Because you see those Pharaoh heads as a background element, and then it just suddenly it's there. I mean, I knew it was going to happen, but... Is that just a generic car alarm sound effect? Oh, I remember this! Main villains that build his minions out of things in his garage. I mean, he's tied with Dr. Eggman for lack of creativity. Or, well, I guess he's more creative than I give him credit for, but... Yeah, but I remember this bubble level, because I remember I loved, like, using the bubble power-up. I have my volume relatively low, and that's still really loud. Nightmare of people installing jank car alarm systems in their cars going off every 5 minutes at 3 a.m. Yeah. Okay. I think I have to get that bubble power up one more time in order to get through there, so I think I'll just do that. Grab this heart. Actually, no, I'm gonna... Well, I can actually go higher, I guess? Okay, so I'll just leave that for... Somebody set us up the bomb. And the really loud noises, I apologize. Oh my god, make it stop! You know what? Screw that area up there. I'm getting away from there. Okay. Oh. Oh, and welcome to the stream, Cranberry. Good to see ya. Wonder if I can drop... Because I want to get this extra life, but I have to get out of the bubble first. Ah, no. There we go. I went from Bomberman to Bubble Boy. Can I make it? Can I make it? Oh, will you stop with that car alarm? hopefully that's the last time I see those enemies, because woof. Yeah, but how are you doing today, Cranberry? It's good to see you. Good to see everybody in chat, as always. I had quite a hike yesterday, 20 kilometers. Wow. I'd like to go hiking, but it's still really cold around here, so probably wait till it gets a little warmer. It was through marshlands. Oh, I see. I entered too early back, so... No, you're fine. You don't need to pack a punch to torture your enemy, just lock them in a room with a song or sound effect that loops every 5 to 10 seconds. They'll beg you to let them out. Yeah, where I live, there's not really too many hiking options. Like, there's really just a creek and, like, a little, like, not really mountainous, but there's higher elevations that I can go to. I haven't been there in a while, though. Very beautiful place for this area, but I just don't get the opportunity to go there that often, especially because the weather around here is really unpredictable, so it's either, like, really cold or really hot. So, probably not till when it gets a little warmer. Maybe when it's like 65, 70. But for those who have just joined the chat, I am playing Bomberman Hero. This is another childhood favorite of mine that I never completed. So I got pretty far in this game, but like as a child, I'd never really grasped a lot of the more, I don't want to say detailed, but like more extensive levels. Like, there's a lot of things in this game that I never really understood or how to do, and I would get stuck on boss battles because I didn't understand phases. So, a lot of these levels that I'm playing right now, I have not seen or touched since about 2003. I can do much climbing because there's a real risk getting stuck in the mud, but my grappling hook still got a lot of usage, a lot of trash been thrown in the forest, even a printer thrown... Wow! That's actually kind of sad that people do that. I hooked it quite a bit of trash pulled up and was able to take it out of the forest. Well, see, I'm really happy that you did that, Cranberry, because, like, anybody who cleans up nature is good in my book. You remind me, we finally had snow droplets like a few months ago. No real snow on the ground, blanketing anywhere, but the fact that we could actually see snowflakes in the mountain covered in snow is amazing. Yeah, like, I actually heard about that because we covered it on my morning job. Because the most that'll say is that it's an ABC affiliate, so we, like, Good Morning America, like, covers a lot of random stuff. So I remember seeing, like, the weather forecast for that area from GMA's weather meteorologist. And see, like, yeah, like, see, there are parts of California that I'd love to see. Like, I'd love to see, like, Mount Shasta and a bunch of other places like that, just for the beauty aspect of it. I'm not really a city person, so to speak. Like, I prefer more small towns. Because I've been to Kansas City, St. Louis, Atlanta, Miami, Washington, D.C., and I'm just not really a big fan of, like, super large cities. Surprisingly enough, I think the worst city traffic-wise was probably St. Louis. I'd also really like to go see Mount St. Helens. I think that's in Washington, I believe, but I'd like to go see Mount St. Helens, just because, like, volcanology is, or whatever the term is like, it's kind of not a passion, but it's kind of like it's just a thing that I like to look into sometimes. And, like, I've watched a lot of documentaries on Mount St. Helens and, like, Spirit Lake and how there's all there's still a bunch of tree limbs and actual tree trunks that are in the water in Spirit Lake that cover up a significant portion of the lake because it's a scientific area, so they're not able to actually take any of that stuff away.
I did it!
Spirit Lake was one of my first hiking locations. Yeah, like I'd really love to see it because I've seen like photographs and stuff of what it looked like before the eruption, and just seeing it afterwards. It's just really fascinating to see all of the stuff that's still there. Because you can still see, like, at least in the footage that I've seen in Google Maps and stuff, you can see, like, the trees that are still standing but are still, like, blown over from the eruption. It's just really cool. And to see how nature kind of recovered from that, in a way. Because Spirit Lake, like, was devastated, but it's come back, even though a lot of the landmass of the water, or the mass, or whatever the term is, a lot of the water is still covered in a floating log, essentially. It took me 4 attempts to actually reach Spirit Lake, and I had my grappling hook. Yeah, I'd be happy to see that. I do have a Discord server. It's if you type in !Discord, it should show you the link, or on the main page as well. And you can post those images there if you'd like, but no pressure. If not, you can always just email me at enosrealm2033@gmail.com. Okay, oh, so he's shielded, that's what it is. I feel like I just fought Nitros, though. I mean, Nitros is pretty predictable, though. At least at this point in time. Because as I said, this boss is pretty much just phases that you... Oh, that was a mistake. This boss is phases that you learn over time. And then you just kind of put it all together in the end. Come on, Nitro, stand still so I can throw a bomb at you. Plus, these are full-powered bombs, so I'm actually doing a lot more damage than I would. And I ran into another freaking hazard. No! Almost ran into a hazard again, so I'm more hazardous to myself than Nitros is to me. Okay, there we go. Okay, you made it into the Discord server.
I did it!
You can just, if you want to post them in the general images, I will check them out at the end of the stream. Oh, yeah, I remember this now. It was, I don't know if she was teleported or if she was a fake, but... Area 3. This looks more, like, at least from the portrait, it looks more Greco-Roman than Egyptian. Okay, so I panicked there for a second thinking that the game had slowed down, but it's actually just the moving texture on the ground that's slow. Is it okay for me, for the images area, to put me a link to where I have the photo chain on Twitter? I went there about a year ago. Yeah, that's completely fine. I'm pretty chill. I actually don't have any, like, super established set of rules right now for my Discord, but yeah, that's completely fine with me. Really, like, the only rules that I have are, like, just be respectful to others and Just like general stuff and like super specific things, but not like that's completely fine. It's more just guidelines that I have in place, just in case like somebody were to raid the server and start causing havoc. Yeah, I need to get some health. Like, oh, I remember that, like, loving this level because I'd love to just jump down because these teleport you to places. And it teleported me right back at the beginning. Woohoo! I think it's that second one that I have to get on. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's no problem at all. Probably gonna stream for another hour and 15 minutes or so. Ooh, I nearly missed that. As I've said, I'm a hazard to myself more so than the enemies are. Oh, Bomberman. Okay. Let's try this again. I'd much rather have full health at this point than not, so I guess it was probably a good thing that happened. But there are levels that reuse the same track over and over, so this, I believe this one is called Radial on the game's soundtrack. So this one's been reused quite a bit for some of the levels that I've played so far. It's also used, I believe, on the very first level, which is fine. I mean, I'm not expecting, like, every single level to have variety, but... What is this? Oh! So I got the arm of a Greek god, apparently. I wonder if I can do it with multiple. That's what I'm talking about! When I was young, I thought cranberries were called crayon berries, and if they were utensils you could draw with, I always wondered why they were putting crayons in grandma's pies and Thanksgiving sauce. Crayola berries. Well, kind of a more of an obscure reference here, but when I was younger, I thought that wrestler Hulk Hogan was called Hulk Hogan, like Hullkogan. His hole is breaking down. Hulkamania. I mean, I still sometimes default to saying Hulk Hogan instead of Hulk Hogan. Because, I mean, if you say it fast enough, that's what it sounds like. So one problem with me having this advanced distance with my bombs is that I overshoot the enemies a little too much. So I'm just gonna do this, and I missed every single shot. I probably shouldn't have grabbed that power up now that I think about it, but you know, there's nothing I can do. Where does this lead me? Ooh, another one. Even though I don't need it, and I'd rather not use it, but... Angie, yes, very. Mount St. Helens and the effects of the eruption was a really big thing that I wanted to show my friends in Japan about the area. They've been wanting to show them what America looks like. Mount St. Helens is number one on my list. Yeah, like I said, I used to watch like a lot of documentaries on Mount St. Helens and just the area around there, like the eruption. I just find it really fascinating how you can still find like volcanic ash from the eruption just in certain places. And I remember seeing a satellite image of seeing how the area has recovered in the 40 plus years since the eruption. And it's just really beautiful how nature was able to recover. Because there was it was heat mapped, so it would show you where tree growth was. And just seeing how much it's recovered since that time is really fascinating. And there was an eruption in the Pacific Ocean just this last January in 2022, the Tonga eruption, which was a little bit stronger than Mount St. Helens, from my understanding. And that happened just recently, but not a lot of people really knew about it because it wasn't really covered that well. But the sound was so loud that you could hear it in Alaska. And it happened, in the South Pacific. So, let me see here. Maybe? No, I'm gonna jump on this one. Joseph Joestar defeated Cars that... Yes, he did. That wasn't an eruption, my brother just sneezed. Well, I think even better is that your brother's sneezing caused Joseph Joestar to defeat Cars. It wasn't the Red Stone of Aja, it was your brother sneezing. So, I'm gonna try to just get over there. I think I'm overcomplicating this a little bit. Luck has its way with the Joestars, absolutely. Yeah, I think I'm just going to come over here because I don't know if I necessarily need all of those to progress. Looks like I do. So there's one more, and I think it's actually just back here. I've been to Mount St. Helens several times, even encountered a bear there. What kind of bear? I mean, I've seen, the only times I've ever seen bears were, at a zoo. Black bear. Okay. Yeah, I have black bears in my area and, mountain lions and stuff, but no, grizzlies or anything of that nature. Well, I tell you what, grizzlies terrify me. There's a good documentary called Grizzly Man by Werner Herzog that tells a story about a guy named Timothy Treadwell. Very, very graphic documentary, just a forewarning, but it just kind of gives you some insight into the behaviors of grizzlies and so on. It tells a story of a guy who's very misguided in his attempts to befriend grizzly bears. It's free on YouTube, so if you're curious to watch it, it's valuable, but it just made me that much more terrified of grizzlies. Yeah, that happened 20 years ago, now that I think about it, because he passed away in 2003, I think. So, another thing that was 20 years ago. Okay, so I can see that last crystal that I need, but it's just a matter of actually getting to it. Maybe it's in one of those crates, and the draw distance is just confusing me. When I encountered the black bear, it was below me on the trail. We kind of stumbled into each other. I spun the hook around my head to make myself look scary. The bear made the correct choice of running away. Best possible outcome, neither the bear nor me were hurt. And I think that's probably the best outcome that anyone could hope for in that situation. Because at the end of the day, like, you're just hiking, and then the bear is just trying to survive. For my sense of self-preservation, my friends, I wanted to ring around the rosy with a bear around a tree or a table until it gave up. Some slapstick comedy. Yeah, and as far as like bears go, from what I understand, it's like more recommended to, like, if it's a grizzly bear, it's recommended to look like big and mean and like scream at the top of your lungs to make it to where you look scary, and there's really like make it to where the bear doesn't want to bother with you. But I mean, do not take that what I just said at face value. Like, do your research, because I am not an expert in any way, but that's just what I've heard from various people, is that it's like, you gotta look big and scary to where it doesn't see you as a worthy, or it doesn't want to mess with you, essentially.
I did it!
If the bear... Other way around, you want to look big and scary. With black bears, with grizzly bears, you want to act more submissive and show you're not a threat. Okay. Yeah, so exactly. That's why I say definitely don't take what I say at face value. But that's actually fascinating, though. Like, I actually always thought it was grizzlies, but I don't know enough about it to make any conclusion. So I'm very glad that you were able to provide that information. I mean, to be fair, they're fast, but I don't think they can zip around trees at the speed of light. I'm not 6'5", and me yelling will do jack shit. My best bet is to honestly outmaneuver or play dead. Yeah, there was something on Coyote Peterson, Brave Wilderness. He did a video on grizzlies, I think specifically, and apparently there's a misconception that people are like, oh, well, just throw your backpack on the ground and distract it. No, you want to keep your backpack on, because if you're in like the fetal position, then that gives you a barrier between you and the bear. But again, I'm not a wildlife expert, and I don't claim to be, but I think the most, like, the coolest thing that I've seen in the wild... I can't really think. Like, I've seen, like, boring stuff like deer. You lay down and spread your legs and cover your neck. You spread your legs because that makes it harder for bears to flip you over. You don't want to turn you over and tear into your stomach. Yeah. You know, I'm really fascinated by that, Cranberry, like, because you've definitely had that more hands-on experience, like I definitely have not, so it's really fascinating to hear it from someone who's kind of, someone who's more, not necessarily lived that experience, but has, like, the knowledge of it and has been in a situation such as, like, earlier with your black bear. I don't know, like, that gets me thinking, because of course, like, you look at me and then I'm obviously, like, rabbit-like, but I'm curious. I'd like to know, like, what is kind of the coolest animal encounter that you've all had in chat? Even trained outdoor survival? Okay. See, I still think that's really cool. Like, that is awesome, Cranberry. Like, I think that's what's cool about the stream, is that I get to meet, I get to fall down like that, but I get to meet people who have, like, done a lot of different things. So I'm really appreciative that you're sharing this with me today. But I'd really like to know, like, what's some of the coolest animal encounters everyone in chat has had in the wild. Like, again, I'm pretty boring. The coolest thing that I've probably seen is some deer. Because, like, the only animal encounters I've had, like, that were more than that were at the zoo. Okay, now we're getting attacked by sentient dice, so... Tasty Sandwich was not kidding when he said, or whoever said it in chat earlier, but that literally the main bad guy went into his garage and just went to town on creating his bad guys. Is this a bubble bomb? I am genuinely confused. Like, does this hurt me? No, I guess I kind of already knew the answer to that, but... I've been given the nickname Grappling Hook Girl because of all my hiking and climbing. I go hiking every Sunday. It started because my friends in Japan wanted to see the area. My coolest animal encounter is hard to narrow down to just one. Bald eagle definitely ranks up there towards the top. Oh, yeah. Like, that would, like, any time of the day, that would be really cool to see a bald eagle, especially because of, like, around here, technically we sometimes, like, I think sometimes I've seen one, but, like, I don't know what their range is, so I could have just been seeing, like, a falcon or just, like, another type of eagle. That's what's cool about the stream. Yeah, is me falling. Yep. I think, the first, like, encounter that I can think of in my head was when I was really little, probably, like, I guess not too little, maybe 4th or 5th grade. I remember, like, I went on this, like, this, not really a safari, but on, those, like, I don't know what it's called, but, like, off the top of my head, but, like, those straw, like a trailer, basically, that was covered in straw. We were sitting in the back of it with a bunch of other kids, and we just had, like, this tour of the wildlife trail around this area that I was in. And, like, as a kid, when I saw a deer just run right in front of the truck, I was just like, wow, that is so cool. That's a deer. You don't see those often. Childhood wonder, of course, but, I mean, I remember that really fondly, just how I was just mesmerized at the fact that I saw a deer. I've seen stuff like herons and other types of birds, though. Like, for a while there, I did a lot of wildlife photography in my local area, and I didn't really get a lot of cool pictures, like, mostly just, like, insects and some birds, but, at my old house, we had a lot of groundhogs that lived around the area, so we'd see groundhogs every summer. Nowadays, it's mostly, like, red foxes and other stuff, which I still love seeing red foxes, though. I've seen plenty of deer, I've seen rabbits, various waterfowl. I have Skuntank plushie that serves as my traveling gnome. See that? I love Skuntank. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, I think, 4th gen. So I think it was Commander Mars, I think, was the one that had the Skuntank. And these things are my own bombs are going to be the death of me. I proved my point literally 1 second after I said it. At the end, too. Gee, oh well. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to share some of my wildlife photos, if you're interested. I'd have to find them, though, because, I have I have them all archived, but the problem is that I don't know where a lot of them are, because I archived them, I didn't organize them, so a lot of my photos are just in random places on my drives, or they're on an external drive. Skuntank is my favorite because it's the favorite Pokemon of my best friend, so I start bringing on my hikes. Aww. See, I really like that. I have a few. I just have a few Pokemon plushies that I have. I have an Arceus, a Latios, and Latios, and I think that's it as far as my Pokemon plushes go. But I literally have to wait until this thing goes all the way back around. One day, I'd like to, when I'm a little bit more stable and I hopefully get to affiliate, I'd like to eventually find somebody who can make plushes of me as my character, because as right now you can't see like the rest of my body because it's cut off by the Streamlabs, but my avatar does have a fox-like fluffy tail, and then my hands are kind of like, they're more of like stubs, but I think I'd make a very nice plushie. Jump, Bomberman, jump! Oh, oof. Yes, you can touch the fluffy tail. Oh, well, okay, I guess technically this is still not necessarily a wildlife experience, but there was a time in college where there was these people who were bringing like animals to as like a community thing where they were showing like animals from different different parts of the world as an educational thing, and I got to pet a Patagonian Mara, also known as a Cavi, which if you look that up, it's basically like a giant bunny. It's the 4th largest rodent in the world, I think. I got to hold a fennec fox, and then I also got to hold a skunk, too. And surprisingly enough, even though the fennec fox is probably my favorite animal, it was not as soft as you'd think. The skunk was actually more soft and cuddly than the fennec fox was. And the reason behind that is that the fennec fox is native to, I believe, the Sahara Desert. So it has to have like this really thick fur to survive in, of course, the hot temperatures of the day and then the really cold nights. Yeah, I'd love to. I just have to track them down. So I have enough health to survive if I hit myself with a bomb again. You know what? I'm just gonna go for it.
I did it!
Push all 4 stones into the hole to make the lighted path appear. Okay, do I just... Okay, that's simple enough. Much easier than a lot of mini games like this that came later where they added like the slippery thing. I liked how in Star Fox Adventures you could actually pull them. If you were facing the wrong direction, you could just pull it. But I mean, this is fine too. I mean, it's not complicated. I mean, it's simple enough to where, well, there's another one here, so I wonder if, like, it's either or Huh. I mean, it's simple enough to where I can do it, and it's, like, not overly complicated, so I appreciate that this puzzle is like this. I think the only thing that has me concerned is that that other one had, there was one over there that had a second a second area where I could put that crate in, so I'm concerned that if I put it in the wrong way, then it's going to have to make me do it all over again. I mean, I don't think it's going to be that unforgiving, but, I mean, this is an older game, so... But it's just kind of incredible how I'm able to just jump right back into this as if I never stopped playing it. Because, I mean, 2003 is just a rough estimate when I stopped playing this, because I don't really remember really playing Bomberman much, if at all, in 2004 or any other year after that. Just because by 2001 I had gotten the GameCube, so I was primarily playing games on that and stuff that I rented, so it might not even have been 2003. It could have even been 2002. So 2002-2003 is going to be my rough estimate for the last time I played this game to this extent. Okay, now we're going to face a boss battle. And everybody in chat knows how much I hate these bosses. His name is Bulbin. Oh, it's this Sphinx-looking dude. I remember, I think he's one of the later bosses, too. You fight him again, and I think that's where I stopped, was that boss. Because I think there's a boss rush later on in the game, and that's where I got stuck. So I'm kind of slowly but surely remembering stuff. Lemon Sphinx, exactly. Piebot has been turned to stone by Bulbin's magic. Well, I mean, I guess that's straightforward enough to explain. Come and get me, I'm waiting. Menacingly walks in place. I love how he kept that pose the entire time he got teleported. So you're literally gonna, like, force us to watch this teleportation animation? She's all by herself now. Sorry, princess. I've got a job to do. Alright, so let's see how we do this. I'm guessing I have to hit him in the tail, because that's kind of par for the course with this kind of thing. Or maybe I have to kick a bomb into him. Because, I mean, these mechanics aren't complicated, but it's just a matter of discovery. So, I guess I'm going to try to continue to get into the back. Yeah, that didn't work. So I'm going to go with my original strategy, try to get him in the back. Yeah, that didn't work either. Because that's the only thing I can think of is hitting him in the back. No? Been here listening, stalking. Every breath you take. Okay, I have to, I guess, hit him in the cannons? I mean, I guess that's okay. Okay, now I hit him in the tail. I guess I was misremembering it. No! Well, at least I know what to do now. That's the important part. Basil the Lurker. Well, now we have two berries in the chat. We have Basilberry and Cranberry. Yeah. I know, I was just making the reference that we have 2 berries in the chat. Berry duo, exactly. So I guess I was on the right track with hitting him in the back bit, but I was just misremembering it. Also, I just want to point out again, Dio and Tasty, if you're still in the chat, there's another brick wall again. Like, it's just a 3D brick wall that's rotating every time I rotate. Oh, I'll have to check that out soon, Sarah. And you also made a thumbnail, that's awesome! You are awesome, Sarah. Okay, I guess we're going back to... Oh, new phase. Okay. See, if I remember right, you fight this guy later on, but you have to fight him in that underwater suit, or the underwater jet thing.
I've got the urge to create 2 JoJo-esque characters where Cranberry and Basilberry have cooperative stands and fit into the universe. The berry starts. Birthmark of a berry on the back shoulder.
How did you know that? You were frozen! So, like, he was frozen to... He was literally turned to stone, so how is he able to know that the princess was kidnapped again? Piebot apparently has universal awareness or something. Oh, bonus stage. I mean, I'm grateful for the score and a little bit of a break from the levels, but I immediately fell, so yeah, that's... Planet Mazone? I guess it's the play on ozone, maybe?
Gordon Freeman, or Gordon Freeman. I expected more warning. Yeah, you and me both, Doc. He was about to board the express to Nova Prospect. Well, Bonnie, what do you intend? I'm thinking. Alex is around here, somewhere. She would have a better idea of how to get him here.
I almost can do that by heart. Even Half-Life 2 is probably one of my top 3 favorite games. It ever changes, so like later on, you'll probably like somebody will quote me on that. But generally, Half-Life 2 is in I'll say my top 10 because I don't have like a defined list or anything. Yeah, because I played Half-Life 2 and its episodes over and over again. Oh, this kangaroo bunny thing. I loved this as a kid. Yeah, now we get to ride a mount, and I love this thing because he hops! Oh, what the fuck? But I can literally hop backwards and side to side without moving. Louis can kick the wall and jump high. Okay. How does he jump? How does he do that? Okay. So do I just do that? Okay. Oh, I have to, like, direct... It's like a wall jump thing. Oh, but I loved Louie as a kid, though. Like... Okay. So I remember Louie, but I just, I never grasped the wall jump, but, I mean, I picked it up in less than just a few seconds, so... Conquering childhood, not traumas, but conquering childhood difficulties one game at a time. Don't know why I did my radio voice for that. Come on, Louie. Okay, jump. Okay, there's nothing up there. Jump scare by a toad thing that came through the bushes. Okay, there's nothing over there worth getting. Yeah, I think I got stuck on this level because I didn't know how to wall jump. So, I think maybe I'm gonna get stuck again because, let me see. So if I get that much height and then do that again, or actually no, I could do this. No, that just gets me trapped in a cycle, so I think maybe I have to move forward a little bit. Okay. There we go. Oh, are you kidding me? There we go. We did it, Louie! We made it!
I did it!
Oh, he's even in like the end screen thing. Oh. Oh, you're gonna play the Louie music, but you're not gonna give me Louie back. Why does the thing look like Birdo from Super Mario? Is it literally tearing off its mohawk and throwing it at me? That's new. Okay, it looks like I have to do something a little different here. Maybe I have to jump from inside the cave. Get a little bit of height going. No? Because I can't grab onto that, so... Place a bomb there, see what happens. There's gotta be something I'm missing here. Okay. That's the waterfall! Oof. Almost died there. Yeah, I think there's something that I'm missing here. That was not what I was missing. Yeah, because there's that one enemy there, and then there's really not much else. Oh, what? See, if I had Louie, I could just jump on the wall, but they took Louie away from me because the game is being mean to Eno today. So I gotta really think, like, can I actually make that jump from here? Because I'm wondering, like, do I hit it with a bomb? Okay, that's what I was missing. Okay, that makes sense. So I have to hit it with a bomb so that regulates the height. Well, thank you, Bomberman, but I was intending to, I gotta take this hit. It got me up here, and that's what matters. Eno big brain moment. Okay, solid land. I'll check up here first, see what... Okay, we got more of these dinosaur things. Because, like, I'm not really too concerned if it's just, like, these score things, but if there's, like, health or something, I definitely do need it. Okay, well, if you're not going to open up and let me hit you, then I'm just going to... Okay, so it looks like it's just one of those score things, so I'm just going to avoid it for now. Because, again, after the stream, I'm going to look up and see what all this stuff does, because, like, it doesn't really point out, like, one way or the other what certain items do.
I did it!
The Cool Cave. That's where all the cool kids go. Okay, so... So what are these? Ooh. Okay, so I can freeze them, but can I destroy them is the thing. Okay, so I guess that's all I can do for those things. How dare you? So yeah, as I suspected, I'm probably not going to beat this game in the 30 minutes left that I have to stream tonight. Again, this will probably be a game that I come back to in the future. Probably not immediately, just because I'm still kind of figuring out what I'm going to do on my alternating day. But, my intention is definitely at some point I am going to beat Bomberman Hero. Just probably not for the next few streams. Just... Unless I can... Unless, like, I just have really nothing else to play. Then, I'll probably... do Bomberman Hero, Skies of Arcadia, and so on. Because this game isn't particularly long, it's just, it's a lack of experience on my part. Oh, I can use him as like a stepping stone. Oh, welcome back, Sarah. No big deal. I guess that's the intention, is to use them as stepping stones and not actually kill the enemies. Which, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Oh, come on. Okay, let's see what this does. More of these score things. Okay, there we go. Okay, I've already been down there. Oh. Oh man! See, if I had the time, I would definitely do like a... Okay, thank you for letting me know. Oh man, my controller came in. That was like a triple whammy all in one. So my controller sometimes when I plug it into the USB port, it will just completely disconnect, so I actually cannot do anything with my controller right now. So, technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. I will be back in just a moment, but I was going to say that if I had the time to do this, I would do a death compilation to see how many times I just absolutely failed this game, but give me just a moment. I will be right back. I'm going to get this controller situation figured out, so